Welcome to The First Sip, the show that's really a bottle share that's disguised as a podcast. I'm Chris, and I'm joined here by my fellow hosts. I have the lovely Allie. What's going on, baby?
Hi, how's it going?
Hey. Got to my right here. What's up, Joel? What's going on, brother?
Hey.
Hey. And filling in for, hey, this is my real voice. I always think about that. This is my real sound like. And filling in for Ruben over here, we got our friend Mike Jones. What's going on, my man? How you doing?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, normal.
Yeah,
great, yeah.
Good to have you on the show. I know you've been a fan for us for the short amount of time that we've been going, and so
I've been following you guys since birth.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen to all of our episodes.
Since conception and stuff.
Pow, 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 pow.
To start off the show here, I got the first sips today, and let me pass this around. I give one to Allie already, so here's.
We each get our own.
Oh.
And so the first
budget's
sip
getting
is,
bigger.
yeah,
guys.
the budget, yeah, exactly. Budget's gotten through the roof so far. Ratings are big, Joel.
We get our
A
own
little
can.
gladiator doppelbock act.
So I'm handing out here to everybody
Don't give me
a little gladiator doppelbock from Engren. Enegrin, I guess you would say.
This
And
is
I
perfect.
chose.
This was the first beer we had yesterday.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'd say it's a good way. I think it's a good intro beer, but the
Yeah.
reason I had this first sips is because it's actually in honor of Ruben. I think he would be, he
In
would
favor of
approve.
this?
He would approve this first sip.
Ruben, you
So
are
we
missed.
we miss you, Ruben, buddy.
He's our gladiator.
Doppelbock is more like
R.I.P.
Doppelbock.
Just he'll be back. He'll just
Yeah, he'll
scheduling
be in the next
conflict
show.
this
The
week.
show
so.
goes on. We'll see you next time.
But
He's never coming back. He's already left.
Don't say
He got a
that.
better offer.
Babe, no!
He's going to Utica?
babe!
Just kidding.
Babe, wait! Babe!
No, Ruben wouldn't do that to us. We couldn't.
Yeah.
We couldn't have the show without Ruben.
Yeah.
So
But I'm pretty pumped to get into. I mean, last time I think it was a few shows ago. It was before we started doing the first sip thing, but we had Engren. I think it was light lager, and as for people who listen to the show or just know us,
the lightest one.
Enegrin. Yeah, Enegrin is definitely a fan favorite or a show favorite of ours. Definitely their lagers are just killer, and
Oh my
go
god,
ahead
this
and
is delicious. Oh, man.
yeah, it's tasty.
take the first sip here, and it's also bomb.
Wow. It's fantastic.
I haven't had that. Have you? So, Mike, you said you just had this one yesterday at a show,
Yeah.
or not a show, at a bottle share.
Yeah. At a show that is a share that
Yeah.
isn't a share.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just Inception.
Yeah, it was the first one we had. It was the first sip.
It's a good starting.
It's a good, yeah, exactly.
And I was saying Kyle's buddy, he had never had Enegrin before.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. It's always cool, like busting somebody's cherry on one of
And
those
he
kind of
just
beers.
got the LC membership, and I'm like, you've never had Enegrin? You skipped.
You skipped a couple levels there. You know what I
can't
mean?
do that. That's not okay.
For people at home,
yeah,
the
it's
LC,
LC.
yeah, is that the La Coterie?
Lo Cotare from the
Cotare.
Ciced
I mean,
Project.
I knew,
oui.
but just to make sure everyone else
Yeah.
knew.
I
Yeah,
didn't
same
even know. I
project.
didn't even know signups were like live for that or anything. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, they're like, and the emails just went out for membership. I was like, damn it.
Yeah. You probably didn't post enough anyways. It's all a marketing game.
Is it like, do they do stuff to? Is it more than just randomly selecting people who apply? Like you got to be repping side
If
project.
you're
going to
make them money, they're going to get you a membership, I think. He posts a lot. It's free marketing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's kind of like that for like Modern Times membership, not their regular one, but like to get into theory, it's a lot of like posting their stuff
Spend
and
your
like
paycheck.
yeah, spend your whole paycheck, like
Yeah.
rep everything Modern Times, post
Yeah.
about it all the time. So there's good things. I mean,
It's
there's
the name of the
obviously
game.
you want people like if you have limited space in your membership, I guess it kind of you want the biggest fans to come in, people who are going to spend money. Like I mean, that is kind of the point, but you want to it's a little bit lame if you because I feel like side project everybody's a huge fan. You know what I mean? So it's
Mhm.
like there's a lot of people that really want to get in there.
Totally. And I heard they added like 3 members this time.
Jesus,
It's like unreasonable odds.
yeah.
Unreasonable.
Nobody leaves that membership.
Yeah.
I would
I mean,
imagine.
was it like 30? I mean, was it really such a low number? Or?
I don't know what the number
3
is.
It
what I
was
heard
really
they added.
3.
Yeah, like around that number, Okay, maybe even
A
5.
handful or something.
A handful,
Oh,
exactly.
Like
Jeez,
a
well-
single digit number?
Yeah,
Oh my
yes. Yes.
Damn.
god. That's like, why are you even
That's
doing
impressive.
that? Like, that's like,
Yeah. Well, because no one leaves.
Yeah, I say I think there's no one like Modern Times. They might accept a couple hundred new members, but it might be because a couple hundred people.
And that's
back out.
only for the league, not for theory. I guarantee
Yeah.
you 100 people don't leave theory because there's only 200
Well, do they
people.
kick people out of theory? Or like they don't. Actually, that's kind of a
Well, yeah, you're not
fresh way.
guaranteed,
You're
right?
not.
You have to-
They invite them to leave.
Yeah.
They invite them to.
You're not invited back.
we used to say that at my job. You get promoted to customer. Same thing.
because customer's always right.
Yeah. No, that's the same with Side Project. Like they say,
Mhm.
Corey follows the blogs and sees who's doing the improper,
Mm-hmm.
the black market trades.
So, Mike,
They get
since
cut from the team.
Yeah.
since you're your first guest on here, and we kind of wanted to ask you. At least I had a couple questions I wanted to run by you because these are things that I think we've discussed previously on the show. So this is something that going forward we want to ask probably all of our guests some of these things. So I'll just kind of maybe for the audience to get to know you a little bit better, maybe get us to know you more than what we already knew previously.
First question is, are you a virgin?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
If not,
Yeah.
tell us about the first time.
Yep.
So virgin,
To the butthole?
No,
Butthole version or virgin?
Side
or...
project virgin. No, we're
virgin
talking about.
before this podcast, but at the end,
Are
who
you a
knows?
derivation virgin or are you a derivirgin?
I am a derivation version.
I am a derivation virgin too. Yeah.
I really want to try that beer. Actually.
Yeah.
Wow. You
I've
guys
been
turned that
double
around.
derivation.
Well,
You
speaking
guys
of which, maybe this will be one of them, or maybe it can't be because you haven't had it before. But I want to see what is your desert island beer.
I actually have this on my notes, my quid pro quo,
In
if
case
you
they
will.
ask me,
We got
this was
a
not
prepared guy.
Yeah, no,
and
I-
you feel free to give a top three. So for contact, if you're
So-
between a couple things,
Yeah,
but let
in
me. I want to know
honor
what
of
the
tradition. I did my top three because that's what you guys went with.
cool.
Yeah, I went with Clever Kiwi.
That's wow. Okay,
Local
From Virgin.
Virgin? Yeah.
because
Ooh.
I was
lager.
gonna-
It was
gonna be-
a
it was
hoppy
gonna be a lager.
hoppy lager, right?
It was going to be a lager, and Nelson's my favorite hop, and I think Virgin,
Damn, that's
knocks
a
that out of
great
the park.
beer.
They crushed that one. I mean,
Yeah.
that was a game changer. Definitely in San Diego in terms of lagers.
Are
They
they
were the
still
first one that I
making
feel like. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
staple.
That's
yeah.
what
A few
I thought.
times a
Okay,
year
yeah,
at least,
We
yeah.
need to get that then. I want
Yeah.
some of that.
Yeah, I
Price,
just saw that.
price point's like $11 a 4-pack.
And are you starting? Is that your number 3 pick, or would that be the one?
Oh, that's number 3.
Okay.
There's a lot better pilsners I could have picked, but like as far as like the Nelson hops being an addition to it, I don't think there's one like regularly made with Nelson hops.
Yeah,
You
that's
could
your
drink
jam.
that
Yeah,
all
exactly.
day.
And that's your jam.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. If I had to pick like a Suarez pilsner or something, obviously that would have been
Yeah.
a better call. But for my preference, Nelson, I'm like deal breaker.
Yeah, I mean,
Game
if they
over.
played the, if it's like, if Virgin played the game, which they have a great marketing campaign and stuff, but it's like if they played the game different, they could be marketed as that side, that Suarez level of pilsner. I feel like, but I feel like they just don't quite have that.
It's
They
coming.
don't play. They
No.
don't quite play that game. You know what I mean?
No, the brewery.
It's
from
too readily
Colorado-
available.
Ruben mentioned it a few episodes ago. The Pilsner Brewery from Colorado, the Lager Brewery,
Oh, Bierstadt.
Bierstadt. They're
Mhm.
on Suarez level, but
Yeah, they are.
again, where's the Nelson hops?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's number 3.
Number 3, and then number 2 would be Water Balloon Fighters.
Okay, monkish.
Yeah,
right?
Monkish.
Nelson Simcoe Citra actually talked about that.
I'm
with Joel
seeing a
the other
pattern
day.
here.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Nelson.
I don't know.
No.
So, no. So,
it's in-
Simcoe, Citra, and Mosaic, I think, is Water Balloon Fighters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I might have misspoke. And
Or-
then number 1 is actually I was between Fafoon or Batch 1 Chateau from
Oh.
Monkish, but I've never a Moss Chateau is what it would be. That would be my pick.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's like Moss Fafoon, obviously, unless
No.
you're like
It already
Right.
is. It already is Moss.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no Moss Fafoon. You're
Is
right.
that? Did you
Yeah.
pick? Is Fafoon one of yours, Ali? I know that was like one of your Hall of Fame nominees, but did you say that for one of your Desert Island beers? I feel like it probably was in the top.
I think I did.
We have perfect. Usually, typically, we have perfect memories of what happens on the
Yeah,
show. when
exactly.
we
We have to go, I'm gonna
record
go
it,
re-list. Yeah, and we list all of these things down
So, yeah,
afterwards too.
Well, I remember Ali picked the I think it was the Lost Abbey beer.
Oh, Peach Afternoon.
Peach Afternoon.
Peach
that
Oh,
was-
Yes.
that beer fucking
Yeah.
slays.
Yeah, so she picked that
Aw,
one.
Thanks for remembering.
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Yeah.
What else happened on our show?
Mike's like, yeah, he's like, I didn't listen to him multiple times already. Which I had listened to him multiple times because I had to edit them, and I don't remember everything.
So for the Chateau one, Chateau's a saison, and Fafoon is lambic, wild ale, I guess you could say.
It's so good.
Damn.
Saison
God,
on
I love
base,
that
I
beer.
kind of like prefer more, which isn't to say that it's better than
Mhm.
Fafoon. They're different beers.
Well, it's more. I mean, I feel like if you think like way too deep about this question, it's like your desert island beer. You're only going to drink this beer for
Yeah.
the rest of your life,
right?
and so it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
like Fafoon could be a little. I could see it could wear on you after a while. You know what I mean? Like, but it's more the saison base. It's a little
Yeah.
more drinkable. I believe my desert island beers. I had saison Bernice in there, but I think I ultimately ended up going as kind of more of like a fuck you guys kind of move. But I went with macaroons before dying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I was
you
like,
did.
shit, like if I'm gonna fucking drink something for the rest of my life, I can have, you know what I mean? Like, playing the
mean,
rules
this is
unfairly, I guess.
hypothetical.
It's like, I'll just have fucking macaroons before dying every day. Fuck
Yeah.
it. Like,
I saluted you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that
yeah,
beer, like
from a
batch,
distance.
especially batch, I mean, it's a little bit
Different
a shell of
coffee.
itself.
Different coffee.
Is that what they did for the batch 2? It's
I
a
was
different
told
coffee?
Dark Matter was the first one, and the second one is
Mostra.
Mostra coffee.
Oh, is it? Oh.
And that's trending. So
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
the
there's
first one
nothing
was
wrong with
espresso.
Moster coffee
Was it
and
espresso?
beers.
But I don't remember who it was from.
I heard it
Oh,
was
it's-
dark matter.
Oh,
Okay.
because it's like espresso macaroon. It was like espresso macaroon or something.
It was an
right?
espresso coffee being the first time around. I don't remember if you said it was dark matter, then that's
Ex-
what it
what I
was.
was
I'm
told.
sure.
I am a
Yeah,
fan of
by Little
espresso
Bird.
beans in beers. I feel like that it's a roasty, it's a stronger coffee profile. It's not like one of those light, like fruity kind of coffees where you can get those lighter characteristics. This is like it's a coffee bean with some backbone.
I wonder if it's like more economical too. Like you get less, you know what I mean? Because it's kind of
potentially
more
maybe use less
more
of it or something.
punch.
You're saying
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
could be, yeah,
Could
It's
be more
probably, yeah, it could be.
expensive, but you use less. I mean,
So I mean, Joel, you might know more about coffee than I do. I mean, is that like is espresso bean like truly like a stronger bean? Like, because it's still a coffee bean, right? Like,
just
is it
more
something about, or is
concentrated,
it
right?
or is espresso more about how you make it?
I honestly don't know 100% like what the major difference is. I think because my only guess would
you're
be
supposed to know everything.
my only guess would be because like because of how the
Should've just bullshitted.
process is for espresso, it's ground up much finer and
That's
it
what it
is
is.
pressure brewed through like a little puck.
Yeah,
So the types of beans, I can only assume the types of beans that are selected for their ability to be ground up very finely.
I imagine. I think
and their,
espresso
and their
it's
flavor
it's a
And
for
be
the
pressure,
extraction.
pressure cooked. Yeah.
it's more of a. They're usually I think they're just roastier, and
Well,
that
yeah.
makes sense because the more you roast it, the more it'll be easily conduced to being broken down into the smaller.
It could be. It's also like when you're talking about pulling an espresso shot, you're pulling it in like I don't know 19 seconds or something like that. I forget what like an optimal time is for that. But espresso is getting brewed much faster than like drip coffee or French press or V60 or Kalita Wave or whatever your poison is. So I don't know, and I don't know how they did that. Then I assume it's the beans. Like in the first batch of macaroons before dying was the beans, not like
beans.
espresso shots, which was
So-
what Modern Times did though for the coffee MT Ultra. They put freaking espresso shots. They pulled shots and put it in the beer. I don't know. That sounds like so much work.
That seems exactly. That seems just hard to do and stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting. So to lock it in though. So wait, what is the number one? Are you going to do
It's batch one Chateau.
Batch one Chateau.
Monster
Okay.
Chateau. But
Monster Chateau.
or I don't know if they did Monster Chateau for batch one, but it would be Monster Chateau. But would you guys say if you had to do one? Did you guys go over that?
Yeah.
If you had to pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, mine was macaroons.
Oh, that's the only one you'd be drinking. Oh wow.
I mean, shit. Like,
So
fuck
after
it,
like
you know
a-
what I mean? Like, I mean, yeah. Yeah. I'm assuming I'd
10
set up.
a.m.
I'm assuming I'd set up some pretty good shaded spots and like just have like a real comfortable tapping room that I'd be able to drink these in and like I'll have plenty of water. You know what I mean? In the ocean, I'll just boil that shit. I'll do like
Yeah.
a,
After like a couple of years, I can imagine Mike's teeth will have just shrunk down to like little picks, little toothpick, little thin.
But if you just like Gilligan
that
Island,
Master
you know what I
Toe.
mean? Just kind of make little like gadgets out of all
You
sorts of like
kind of get a
coconuts
life
and shit.
hack if you're on an island because you got coconuts available. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And you have coconut water for your hangover to
Or-
reintroduce electrolytes to your system after drinking so much damn
yeah.
macaroons before dying.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and we got producer Zach coming in real quick.
Yep,
What's
you
up,
can't,
bud?
you
What's
can't
up?
see him.
Can't see him,
He's,
can't see him.
he's secretly hidden. He.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Next.
Oh no, we're
next
locked in. We're stuck here
question.
forever.
Yeah. Next question. Forever. What TV character would you most want to have a beer with? From any
The
kind of
actor or who the
No TV
character
character.
is, yeah.
the
like a
character themselves that they
so
portray.
That's a
Jim,
good-
Jim, not John Krasinski.
Good question.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
George Costanza is what I believe was my answer.
Yeah.
It was.
That's your answer
Okay.
for everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
I feel like I have
Loaded-
like an
that's a
inner
loaded
George
gun.
Costanza. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Make
think
it
about
think-
it
yeah,
you know,
no.
too much.
There
But
is
First
no
thing
wrong
comes to your mind,
answer,
bam.
Mike. No, I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
first
I mean,
We'll let
Sonic
you,
the
we'll let you amend it.
Hedgehog.
We'll let you
It could be
amend it
Sonic
later.
the Hedgehog. Get a cartoon.
No, it would probably have to be someone from probably Community. We're talking about. I've every season
Oh.
on DVD. I love that
That's
show.
a good one. That's a good one. Who from
Yeah.
who?
No, it would probably be someone like
Not Starburns.
no, definitely not
The Dean.
Although
The Dean.
Starburns is I think he's the producer. Isn't it Starburns Productions? He's like the actual.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
he would
no,
be.
you're
He
right.
would
Yeah,
be the producer. That
yeah.
would make sense.
Yeah.
Someone who has like a smaller role like that, like
Yeah.
kind of like Ryan in The Office. You know what I mean? He's like
Yeah.
kind of not. I mean, I guess he's some people's favorite character, but like he's sort of a smaller character. But it's like, oh yeah, I'm like, want a
Well,
producer?
he like wrote himself to be a bigger character.
Right.
yeah,
mean,
he could just
he
do that.
could
I'm gonna
evolve.
have a bigger role. I'm gonna.
Minnie Kaling too.
That
That's-
was
yeah,
was
that's
that
the glory.
pre SNL or
Was he on SNL?
wasn't he?
not as an actor. I mean, he could have
was
been a
on
writer. He might have been a writer. He could have been a writer because I remember.
I thought
So
for
we watched.
BJ
Allie and I
Novak?
watched. Yeah, BJ Novak. You're talking
Oh,
about?
BJ
He was
Novak was
on
totally
Punk'd.
on SNL. I
Not
think.
as an
Oh,
actor.
I have no-
don't think so.
I have
Dude,
no
I'm
memory.
an SNL buff. Dude.
Okay,
Like,
thank
he
you
could have
for
been. He could
clarifying.
be. He could have been a writer for a little bit.
Okay, I
That's
thought he
one thing
was.
that could have had. That could have
Inglorious Bastards.
He was a writer for.
Oh, so good.
Oh, he was in that. Yeah.
I think he was a
man.
writer for like Conan.
Oh yeah,
show.
can it be a movie character or does it have to be a TV show? Or
I'll give you a movie. I'll give you a
Yeah, it
movie.
could be.
Yeah, he
it's
said
just
Inglourious
fiction.
It has to be a
Oh my
TV movie
Cap-
made for TV.
yeah, Oxygen
Saturday
Network. Oxygen
matinee.
Network.
Disney or
Yeah.
Hallmark.
It has to be a Hallmark Channel movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Lifetime Network.
Or
It has
yeah,
his
that
Disney
was too.
Air Buddies 17, and they're going
I
to
want to be
outer
the dog.
space. They become Martian buddies.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
No, I'm
my
just
God.
gonna say Abed.
Yeah, that's a good
Yes, that's a great choice.
Abed.
I'll bet from
Yeah,
Community.
we would nerd out so hard.
one.
If
Yeah.
we didn't end up together at the end of that like date, something would have gone wrong.
Mike and Abed getting hammered.
In the morning.
Yeah, getting hammered in the morning.
Yeah.
So good.
You should be. Wait, what's their room?
Where they the Imaginarium room?
The
or
little
something, was it?
holodeck
Yeah.
room.
Yeah, what's it called?
Yeah.
The one
The
that
Dreamatorium.
Dreamatorium. I was saying Imagitorium. I was like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dream. Yeah, just you guys in there together.
Which rhymes with crematorium, and it makes it sound like it's the place where your dreams go to die or something. Like they get
Wow.
burned up and destroyed, the dreamatorium.
I was
I like-
thinking
I have a more
okay.
positive.
That's not where my brain
yeah,
went,
that's
though,
yeah,
but-
exactly.
Yeah. Jeez.
I'd have a beer with Annie.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh.
boobs.
Yeah.
That's all you like.
Yeah, it was-
Annie's
Yeah.
boobs. is the monkey.
Yeah.
Annie's boobs.
I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
it's
I'd probably have a beer with not Joel McHale, but the old guy
Oh, not
Chevy
the Joel
Chase.
character?
Chase,
Come
yeah.
on, Joel. Pick the
Pierce.
Joel character.
Pierce.
Yeah.
No. What an asshole.
No, Joel's character-
I feel like he's a good one when
He's the worst.
what's
in the
Joel's
show.
character's name in that?
It's oh my gosh, I should know.
Jack?
No, it's not Jack.
No, it's
No.
oh my god, I just watched
I know.
all of the show, all 6
Yeah.
seasons, and I
we
don't
were binging
remember.
it. We all been binging it recently.
I just
Like,
know his name is Joel.
Did we all just become best
mine.
friends right now?
Yeah.
I
Everyone
binged it.
listening's like,
There's
you
actually a
guys
lot of
are
room in our new setup here to do karate.
I binged it a little earlier in this pandemic. It was a pandemic binge for sure.
Oh yeah. Okay, moving along. Moving along in the. Oh wait, what was your answer?
Just move
Abed, right?
for
Abed.
sure.
Okay,
Great
Yeah.
choice. Really great choice.
I like that one. Solid, really solid. Super.
Jeff
Super.
is his
Jeff.
name.
Jeff. There we go.
Yeah, it's another J
J
word
name, yeah.
with 4
My name's
letters
Jeff.
in it. Or J
All right.
name.
And this will actually be a good one for you, Mike, because I know you just did a bunch of traveling around through this not a bunch, but like comparatively to what you
24
could
states
do,
in 2 months. Yeah, not that much.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess. Well, you drove through a lot of them, right? I mean, just hang out in 24. But you did a lot of
We
traveling.
did.
You did a lot of traveling. You did a
Yeah.
lot of traveling. I won't break it down too much. What is your favorite beer city?
Ooh.
Again, we can accept a top 3 answer here.
Yeah.
Oh, this
Because I
is
can see, like I said, I know you did like I said, you went through a bunch of really cool beer spots.
Yeah.
We did a huge road trip, so
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that I drank
During the pandemic, smart guy. Gas was cheap. Like right in the beginning. No, I was jealous.
Roads were
COVID World Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was part 1.
COVID World Tour.
Yeah.
Because you
It's
came to
like-
our house like right before you guys left, and I was thinking like, I am so jealous. I wish
Yeah.
I was going.
Yeah.
Beer City would probably be Denver, just because like the proximity, like in downtown area, so many breweries.
That's number one, you
and
think?
and yeah, just the amount of beer shot I drank was just unreal.
beer
I can
stop.
believe it.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
there's a ton of places. Yeah, Bierstadt would be a place I want to go to. Crooked
Yeah.
Stave.
Crooked Stave,
Casey's out in Colorado,
Casey.
right?
We went to Glenwood Springs, went to Casey 2 times. Went there on the way and on the
bitch.
way back.
Damn.
You got Cerebral.
Cerebral, yeah.
Yeah,
Just gonna-
Cerebral. And a lot of those breweries have their like they share their beers on draft.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Coors
Beer-
is
Beer
out
Shot
there.
has-
Coors.
Primitive.
I like Coors.
Yeah.
Did you go to Primitive and get some box lambic?
Oh shit! That's where
I-
is Primitive in Colorado? Are they like near
Somewhere.
Denver? Are they near Denver?
No,
Are they way out there.
They're
kinda
somewhere
shit?
in the boondocks, I think.
They would
I
be.
unfortunately did not. And Weldworks I didn't even get to go to because they're in Greeley, and that's off the beaten path.
Jeez.
That's northeast of Boulder. That's pretty far.
Am I not the only
So-
person who thinks that WeldWorks beers are wildly inconsistent?
I think I would agree with that. Like, I mean, I don't get their beer all that much, especially the high end shit. Like, I don't even know. Do they? I don't even. I feel like I never even see their sales. Like, I don't know if they allow proxies or anything, but
It could just be that the stuff I've had is just not. It's been all over the map. All over the map.
yeah. No, I've
But
had
they've produced some banger like barrel aged stouts though that were crazy.
the barrel aged ones are
hype.
always usually pretty good, but like they're regular. Was it like peanut butter cup or something? We had it. It was actually at a Tuesday night beer society at Helia, and it was in a can, and it was like peanut butter cup or something.
Oh,
Now that you
I thought it
mention
was
that,
just not good, I thought,
to Joel's point, their beers are inconsistent in the sense that sometimes they change the recipe. So I don't know if that's what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
They produce a lot of beers that will just like end up in distribution that maybe aren't that good.
Yeah,
they
their
have that,
bangers
yeah.
are bangers.
I feel like I've had a few of their beers that don't taste. Yeah, they don't taste the same. Or like if it's a base stout, like the Medianoches, those Medianoches are not like. There's no guarantee if you get a Medianoche that you're getting like a great beer. It's kind of like.
It's not until one
I
becomes
suppose that's
starring
like
Noche. and
Three
you're
Free
like,
Floyds kind of has the same problem, I suppose, when it comes to barrel aged dark lords. It's like it's anybody's guess if this is a good one. This weird variant they came out with or
Yeah.
something.
like, no soy sauce, no soy sauce, no soy sauce.
I
Yeah,
find-
just please.
Yeah, I find that the base Medianoches have had more luck with than the adjuncted ones.
Mhm.
Like if it's just like a different barrel, rather than like different like peanut butter or coconut, whatever's in it. I find
Gotcha.
that
They're
the
more
base one-
barrel focused.
So I'd be curious. Yeah,
I feel like they've been big for a while, but I feel like they got even extra hype after the Hootenanny Festival, the Horus Festival a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
Because there
They had
was
the PP
well,
one.
because there was a huge. I mean, there was everybody. It was like one of those festivals that was the who's who of the beer scene.
Yeah.
And I recall Weldworks. I believe it was a peanut butter barrel aged stout that
Yeah.
they did, and it was one of the best beers of the
Yeah,
day.
it was a
That
good one.
was the
I
best
think
beer
them and
today.
Main and Mill was the other one.
Main
Main and Mill.
Main
Yeah.
and Mill. They
Yeah.
both had
Right.
peanut butter stouts, I believe. Main and Mills might have even been better.
Three
I think,
Chiefs.
but Three Chiefs was big there, but they were like acting really lame in terms of just like
Three Chiefs
only
did the
pouring
bottle
stuff
pour
for
of the
their-
Jamaica Blue Mountain one. That was amazing. That's what was
I
crazy.
didn't-
People were climbing over each
yeah.
other.
The
Yeah,
Three Chiefs line was
because it was like
a
the
blob.
line was if you were at the
Yeah.
back of the line, you actually were getting screwed because everybody was just cutting up front.
Well,
Oh, I got 4 pours of that beer just because I like stayed at the front and
Yeah.
talked to the brewers.
yeah, that's all you
Yeah,
did.
smart.
That's
Yeah,
all you
I should've
did.
done-
Yeah.
Now I know. Now I know.
Yeah.
I was looking for the end of the line, and I ended up just loitering by the blob of people, and then they were walking down the line doing bottle pours.
Yeah.
So I just stayed
Yeah.
and got
Kind of
bottle
like how
pours.
Mostra was at one point. It's like I feel like I'm sure it is choreographed in some way, but like I remember at Mostra, same kind of thing. At some point, a bunch of people from, especially like because Mostra is like homies with Jay Pizzo and extra. I feel like they're extra homies with some of the breweries there, and some of those breweries like at some point, a bunch of people just started going into the crowd pouring Magnum pours
Right.
for people.
Yeah.
And I was like,
You had to be. That was one of those
Yeah, it's like
at
you
the
had to
right
be-
time.
By the
at
way,
right
since
place.
since Ruben's not
Right place at
here,
the right time.
I'll take the mantle of having
shit
beef,
sucks.
of having beef of some kind, and this is slight beef with Mostra. Although I love Mostra,
This is
and
gonna
I
be the
subscribe.
nicest beef I've ever
I subscribe to their coffee and I get it and I love it and like they're great people. They're wonderful people. But so they did do a thing where they opened a new location and the new location got a liquor license approved. And so to celebrate, they did an archive bottle sale. And you may
I think
may
I
have
heard
seen
about
this.
yeah.
And they advertised. So they had their archive
big
bottle
stuff,
sale was
right?
so it was M5 and M6, which were their anniversary beers from Moxa in the previous couple of years, adjuncted pastry stouts with coffee and then with other stuff. But then they also had Babinka, which was their collaboration with, like you said, Jay Pizzo and Jay Wakefield,
Dude,
which was like a
Babinka
Babinka.
fucking sucked actually. Did you?
Well, I
these one unless it got better, like they
I
had
had it
that
a couple
those-
times. I had it a couple times, and it was different. Yeah, I don't
I had
know.
it fresh at the
Yeah, yeah.
anniversary. It was delicious.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you were VIP at that anniversary that year, which was the fifth
Is this a batch
year,
2? Have they done a batch 2 of it?
Nope,
Or is this
only
it's all
one.
the same one? Okay.
But the big one they had was a barrel-aged pastry method.
Right.
So,
yep.
so they advertised based upon that bottle's going to be there. So now I'm proxied for a buddy of mine who lives up in LA. He was like, it's going to go on sale at like 6 a.m. In-person sales, you got to get in line. And I was like, all right. He's like, don't kill yourself to get there early. I just want you to get that bottle for me.
Yeah, wasn't this like a month ago?
No, this was just a couple weeks ago.
Or, that's what I mean. Yeah. This was recently.
This was just a couple weeks ago, and so I was like, "Yeah, no sweat." So I got up. I didn't hurry myself. Last time I went down to a physical Mostra sale, I got there super early, and I ended up, I didn't need to get there that early to get what I needed to get. So I got down there at 6:15, and there was a small line, and so I got in the line, and then I checked the IG story,
6:15 is early.
and right when I checked the IG story, I saw they had just sold out.
You're like, what? It's 6:15.
But so the reason they sold out was they only had 7 bottles.
Yep, that's what I heard.
So they advertised.
7 bottles.
They advertised basically that we only had 7 bottles to hype it up, which they succeeded in doing.
They didn't mention how many they had.
But
right?
literally, like they didn't mention ahead of time. So there were people who got there at like 4:30 in the morning and saw that they were like in the first 10, 12 people. They're like, oh,
we're in.
I'm good.
If you were
And they
number
were
8
not good. They
Dude, if you were
struck
number
out.
8, how pissed would you be?
So that was like our buddy Steven, mutual friend of the show. He was like number 12 or something, and he was.
I can't
He
believe
was-
they even had a release for 7 beers.
So-
That's-
Well, that's just fucking dickhead fucking.
So they still had,
Yeah.
I still got a couple of the other ones, but like I was like, oops, sorry, buddy, like I didn't get down here early enough. But it turns out if I had wanted to get it, I would have had to get there like probably 3:30 or 4 in the morning.
I think Liz
Which-
got it, right?
Liz got it, our buddy Liz,
Yeah.
and she was down there at 4, I think. So, and
Wow.
she
You know
was,
why?
She
You know
must
how
have
she?
really
You know
wanted
how
that
she?
beer.
Well, you know how she. So funny story
let's
here
hear it.
is. So our
She
other
had the
friend of the
inside
show, Matt Rosenbaum, he was dropping off a beer to somebody. I think they met either at I forget the exact story, but essentially he had inside knowledge, and whoever he was dropping off, like he was trading some beers in person, and they had knowledge. Like I think they were doing it at the Mostra location or something, and he was like, "Hey, like they only have if you're in the Mostra thing, they only have 7 bottles of the pastry method." Get there like extra early, and so he wasn't in it anyway, so he just knew that, and he saw Liz later in the day, and he was like, oh, like he was getting some beers off her, and he was like gave her the heads up, like, hey, like there's only 7, like get to Mostra at like 4, and I guess she took
Oh,
the
good
advice
for
and like
her.
bam,
Wow.
scored it. So she knew, so
Dude,
she
she
may have
did
been one of
sell it on
only
the
she
like.
has to share that bottle with him now as gratitude.
Well, it just happens to be that Liz is our next guest on the show.
Oh, really?
2 weeks? No, I'm just kidding.
she's gonna bring it on the show. Yeah,
Hey, Liz, if you're listening, Liz.
So
Liz,
she's a Mostra member.
Liz, we
She
love
is,
you.
yeah.
Is she first year member, or was it for this for second year?
This is first year still.
Do you know how?
I don't
do you
think
know
they
about
renewed
the
yet.
price tag on that first year membership.
It was like a lot. I don't want to say.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
Okay, I just wanted to know if
Yeah,
you guys
Liz
knew.
Well, they
That's pretty
promised to get him. I mean, they
badass
promised
beer
some.
lady.
There's
And
beers
it's
included and
coffee.
everything.
You
right?
get coffee. You get
Coffee.
so
she's
yeah.
really
You get a
like
free
good
coffee.
Yeah, she gave us some cool coffee stuff the other day. All right, and then
So
finally,
that was my slight beef with them. Anyways, that was me filling in for Ruben to be slight beef about something. Continue.
For you,
Yeah,
Joel,
so
you
if
did
I-
a great job.
Yeah, finally, Mike,
crunch music sucks.
I can't do it as I can't be as as black and white and just superlative as him, but I'll try.
So
For-
see here. So Mike, Russian River, 450 North, side project. Fuck, Mary, kill. Who you got?
Wait, one
Kill
more time.
450 North.
Yeah. Wait, say the breweries
dead?
one more time, Chris.
Russian River, 450 North, side project. Fuck, Mary, kill. Who you got?
Mary side project and fuck Russia.
I know that was just kind of
That
that was just kind of a
yeah.
messy. That was just kind of a messy. I want to see
All
like
on the team.
this is how we weed people out. If you say fuck or marry 450 North, then we
You
stop the
die.
podcast right there.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, headphones
No,
off.
actually,
like, we're outta
your
here.
chair goes
Yeah,
under
it's
and
like
you
Doctor.
put
Yeah,
on as
it's
a
like
ghost
Austin
being-
Powers, like
Yeah.
Doctor Evil's lair.
Yeah.
Like
Good reference.
Exactly.
I'm not dead. I'm not actually dead. I'm just very severely burned.
So that was the final
My legs
question.
are broken.
that was it. I was
All right,
I was
can I go through my litany of points that I have?
Whoa!
I'll make,
Yeah,
I'll make
like,
it really quick.
I got. What is this?
Are you-
Is it, what is
are
this?
you
Festive? What is
interviewing
this?
us
Yeah, what
now?
is this? Festivus? Like like I got a lot of
Yeah,
problems
he's got
with you people.
it's a litany.
All right, yeah, we'll give it to you. Then we'll hop into battle beers
Cool.
after this.
So first things first. Sorry, Ruben couldn't be here.
Rest in peace.
Love that guy. All right, no, all right, yeah.
He's still alive. I hope he is. I really hope he is.
That was awful.
Secondly, thanks for having me, guys. Seriously.
Yeah, dude, we're
Yeah,
glad to have you.
Yeah,
Cheers.
yeah.
We'll put the air horn in here. Pow, 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 pow.
Thirdly, happy belated birthday to Charlie, aka Good Beer Life. His birthday was yesterday.
Oh,
Oh, so when we're
Happy
recording this, his
birthday.
birthday was yesterday.
Yeah.
So March 6th. Everyone put it in your calendar. Charlie's birthday. If you don't know him, put it in your calendar.
If you don't know him, you should know him. He's a beautiful man.
He's a
I
beautiful
don't
man.
think I know Charlie.
Oh, yeah, he's
I don't think
he's
you
met him.
an El
I
Cajon.
saw
Have you met
him
him? Has he been
online.
at?
Yeah.
Been to some of our shares? Or
Oh yeah, over the years, yeah, for sure.
He dwells in the
He
nether
knows
region of
our
El Cajon.
Mhm,
Okay.
Yeah,
I know. I think
Great
I
guy.
follow his Instagram.
Yeah,
The
I saw
Charlie
it
Good Beer
online.
Life or something.
awesome record collection.
Yes,
Really,
yes.
yeah.
Sweet man.
Beautiful children.
A little love dagger to Ribbon. Blind pig beats Pliny every day.
Oh,
Yes,
Unpopular opinion.
he's
You
not
did
here.
see that we actually put an end to that, though, right?
That-
Pliny the Elder is actually the better beer, though.
Well, that's what
We-
you guys were. That's what you guys said. But
We
it was,
ended
Ruben was carrying flag with
we
that.
ended this conversation, right?
anyway, it's awkward.
No.
We ended it.
Yeah. I was gonna say on the topic of bottle share do's and don'ts. I just had a few that I was saying were my most important.
Ooh.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. Let's hear these. Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
I just
You're a
put three.
well-researched
Okay.
guest.
I could have gone through. Well, you know.
Yeah, I'm
That's
That's why we have. Yeah,
to listen
exactly.
to. My first one was I thought that the host should provide plenty of water always. enough that it's impossible to run out, whether it's in the form of like on draft per se versus in bottles. Just
Oh, yeah.
have enough water. I
We
don't.
got a big thing here, dude.
Yeah, I agree with that. If you're the host,
This
yeah.
is at your house, so
Oh,
you know,
gotcha,
you know what I
gotcha,
mean?
yeah.
yeah, exactly. If it's at your house,
I agree.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
great. No, if
Well, that's-
if
that's
it's
almost-
at your house, make sure you have buttloads of water.
Well, I was gonna say that's
Exactly.
almost
Oh,
like
yeah.
a double. That's like the host do's and don'ts. Also,
You know what I do?
Well,
You know what I do?
Separate list or
I'm
thing?
gonna jump in and just say real quick. I don't know if other people have this problem. I have a whole bunch of freaking growlers that are just empty. I fill them all up with purified water ahead of hosting a thing, and I just got growlers of water
yes.
out the wazoo.
That's a great
That's what I
idea.
do. I totally agree with that. All right.
So if you want to learn about how to be a functional alcoholic, I have to just follow beer pleasant strangers on Instagram.
yeah. So I do-
No, he's a professional
Yeah,
drinker.
slide
What are
into
you
those
talking
DMs.
about?
and
Yeah.
you learn the ways of life. My second point was to thoroughly discuss the food situation before, because an empty belly means blacking out, which means imminent DUI.
Yeah, and then you're always stuck trying to figure out like some kind of door dashing situation or something, and
Yeah.
like you get
Yeah,
get stuck with the
that's-
bill or whatever. Yeah, food
that's
is
a really good
yeah. It's
point.
either got to
Figure
be
out
this is a
food
food thing.
before-
Like even if you eat before, like you want to have some snacks.
You
least.
can't play the whole even if you eat before, because drenchies are a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You need protein
true.
to slow down that alcohol.
And while you're eating, because it's too late by the time if you leave the bottle share and then go get food, on your way home, you're already fucking buzzing like too hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you gotta. I like that one.
Yeah, that was. Rachel's at home shaking in her boots over that one. She's like, "I always told you should eat more."
Eat
Uh,
more protein.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And the third one is, I think personally, don't kick people out at the end of the share or like end it abruptly, mostly because your lazy ass wants to go to bed. Let people stay a minute. Let people sober up. Especially if you're hosting.
Yeah.
You don't want their graves on your hands.
So, would you say
Yeah.
like you have to stay out and hang out with them, or it's like, hey, you know what? I'm so tired. I'm gonna go to bed, but feel free, hang for a little bit.
Yeah, if you're that cool, sure, then that's cool
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. I was more thinking
Yeah.
like if you're gonna go to bed, you're probably telling people to leave. But if you're cool with them staying, then that's a whole different
I
animal.
never go to bed before people leave.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. You should try
also,
to do that. Yeah.
I've had one where people came like from far away, and I told them ahead of time, like, you can stay on I have like a futon or a couch or whatever you can stay on. So,
Yeah, because I've been both like if it's a really good friend, they'll be like, look, have fun, but I don't want to hang out with you. Like
Well-
they can say I'm gonna go to bed, but keep doing your
or
thing.
check up on people who are a little too, like you said, maybe didn't have enough protein or just
Yeah.
didn't have a bottle share experience to kind of set their compass for what their levels were.
Yep.
We had a friend come from Australia who was awesome. It was a lot of fun. Were you there, Chris, when he was here?
I think so. Yeah.
At Ryan Glancy's house, which happens to be like 3 blocks away from where we're recording right now. He came and he got completely blitzed. And there was like multiple Black Tuesday variants that people brought and got open or whatever.
Oh,
and
geez,
so
one of those.
we made sure that he got into like an Uber.
Okay.
We walked him to like the road and make sure his Uber got him and picked him
Yeah.
up and stuff.
He was done.
Wow.
Especially me. I mean, I don't want to cast aspersions
Hopefully
upon
post-Uber,
Australians, but
he got okay.
Yeah, no, he's fine. He made it back to Australia. He had nothing but wonderful
Australians
things
drink
to
beer in the
say.
boots. They should typically be able to handle.
we're also drinking Foster's, which is like fucking 4.5%. So it's like
Australian for beer. Oh, so before we jump into battle beers, I have a mystery sips.
Ooh,
Was that the rest of your-
mystery sips?
I actually have a mystery.
that
battle
was the
beer.
rest of my top 3. Yeah.
And luckily, that last point I was just going to say is I haven't experienced too much of. Excuse me. I haven't experienced too much of hosts, usually getting us out there too early. It does happen, but luckily, I think we have cool enough friends that usually don't make you fend for yourself out there.
So
That's a good.
don't mind the
Or if you
koozie.
don't
The koozie is
early.
to disguise it. So just let it flow over the koozie. It's okay. So I'm gonna pass this to Chris in front of all the wires.
Well, we could just have you hold it, and we'll just hand you the glasses, and then you can pour it.
And don't
So
peek.
mystery,
No,
this is-
no peeking. This is a mystery
Okay,
sip.
all right.
This was something that I realized I wanted to bring belatedly, and I did. Also, full disclosure, I've never had this beer, so I don't even know.
You don't even know. I'm excited.
Yes, it's
Ooh,
I feel like I recognize it, but
I know it smells fruity.
it's in the.
It's
I mean, the one
dropping
thing
out.
I can tell is that it's in the 12-ounce format.
It is in the 12-ounce format. I've
That's one
said
thing I
pour,
can
Wow.
deduce.
pour through the
I'm impressed.
koozie, and it is dripping out the bottom of the koozie slightly. So,
Everywhere. Everywhere.
sorry about that.
We're drowning at this point.
Just don't set it on top of any sensitive electronics or anything, and we're good.
Yeah, sorry, Zach, wherever you are.
So, anybody guess on what the style is?
I'm gonna
Get
say
a nice
fucking
hop floral nose.
yeah. I'm getting like a hoppy lager.
Yeah.
Get hoppy lager feel here. I was like,
We got Hoppy Lager. Okay.
What do you got, Allie, from the nose? What do you think?
I mean, it's definitely fruity. I'm almost like a Brett IPA. I don't know.
Brett IPA. Okay. All right.
I mean, I've got the fruity stuff for sure.
Lots of great hop
Whoa.
aroma, hop flavor.
yeah.
I'm guessing this is unfiltered.
I don't know. I don't remember. We'll have to look at the can and see if it is unfiltered. So any guesses on the style? We got Hoppy Lager 1.
Yeah.
And then
I'm like,
Brett beer is the other one?
Brett IPA.
Brett
I
IPA.
think
Okay.
it's probably not that, but
I know what it is, so I'm
can
not
see
going to
where you're
guess.
getting the Brett, though.
Kind of like a little bit.
Any guesses?
I think a hoppy unfiltered lager is pretty
Okay.
spot on.
Probably. Guessing.
Pale ale.
Guessing you guys don't know the brewery. I'm going to guess that you don't know the brewery, so I'm not going to make you guess the brewery. But guess the what do you think's like the ABV?
7.
I was gonna say like 4.5 to 5.
I was gonna say
Okay.
4%, 4.5.
4.5, 5, 4.5, and then Allie, you said 7.
Yep. Is this like Price is Right? Is that
Okay.
like this
All
close?
right, Chris, pull it out of the thing. This is a local brewery.
Oh, I see non-alcoholic beer.
Oh, jeez.
This is less than 0.5%.
Oh, it's
Oh,
Athletic Brewing Company.
It's a newer brewery here
I've heard of
in
that.
San Diego,
The camera is picking it up.
and this is I believe is supposed to be an IPA.
It's a hazy IPA.
So,
Okay.
yep.
I was right.
But
I
it's
said
non-alcoholic.
What's the target
Or
there?
it's contains
Hazy
less than
IPA.
0.5% alcohol. Interesting. I have not had any of their beers. I've seen them. I've not at least in a long time. I haven't had a non-alcoholic
Yeah, I
beer.
was gonna say. So this is considered.
It tastes like a lager.
non-alcoholic?
It tastes
It
like a
tastes
hoppy
pretty
lager.
good. Like
It's not bad.
I like it. I like the
like it,
flavor.
really?
It's not terrible. You know,
There's
what I
a
mean?
I like the hop. Like I like the hop flavors in it.
There's a middle ground to be had. And speaking of Weldworks earlier, they make a hazy IPA that's called Fitbit. That's half the calories in it. So Sabro hops has a little bit of that coconut and young strawberry.
Fitbit. What a great.
That is
name.
a great.
Well, they have a beer called Juicy Bits.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's also
Yeah.
like double play
Yeah.
on words.
Exactly.
Oh,
Juicy
I love
Bits.
it.
You call that a double entendre?
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there we
that's
go.
what it
Double
is.
Yeah, it's a it's a nickname that certain people have for each other. Juicy Bits.
It's like if you're gonna like, in
Certain
my
people.
opinion, with this beer, completely lose the quality of a hazy IPA just to make it non-alcoholic. This is not a hazy IPA. I would
Now
ever seek
it's not
out.
hazy,
Right.
and we didn't roll it, so maybe
Well,
there's some
you
trub.
did mention unfiltered, so it does have a
I picked that up. but
haze,
it's not, like,
but
there's
yeah.
no mouthfeel. It's not.
well. I mean, to make a non-alcoholic beer, like I mean, I don't
Right.
know. I haven't had many, and like I would imagine this is of the better variety. Like it didn't suck, I'd say,
No.
but it, if I
All
didn't, if I
right.
couldn't drink,
That's
if I was really into
a fun
beer,
If
and
you're
I
looking
couldn't
for
drink
a podcast to sponsor Athletic Brewery,
yeah,
in quotation marks you have right here, it didn't suck.
yeah. And actually,
From our host.
in the first battle, because I know what your battle beers are, Joel. I
Yes.
also have a battle beer parent matchup, but mine's going to be a mystery as well. And I'm not going to tell you the only thing. It's actually a shelfie showdown. So that's the only
Shelfie
thing.
Showdown.
So the only thing you'll be able to know is that these are beers that are readily available. They are good breweries, but they are available to purchase at most, especially in Southern California. Probably mostly. I know one for sure you can get pretty much in almost every state, and the other one
That's
you could.
kind of cool.
So
You're
I'm
giving
actually
me-
I don't
you
have
brought
them. I
shelf
have
turds.
bags,
So
but
you
you're
brought
gonna be able
shelf
to,
turds.
you're gonna be able to tell what one of them is if I give you it. So I'm gonna take your guys. I'm gonna take a glass from each of you guys. I'm gonna pour it for you, and I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna do it like kind of secret. So you guys talks amongst yourselves.
Can't you just like turn around?
Well, we can just take a break. We'll take a break right
All right,
here,
yeah, we'll see. All right, we'll take our
Let's-
first. Yeah, we'll take our
and
first. break.
Take a
we'll do that,
break.
and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
And we're back. Sorry, I always wanted to do that. All right, so yeah, I think I was just telling you guys before we took a little break there. For the first battle beer, obviously I poured it out here. You can see it's pretty light looking beers, but this is the Shelfie Beer Showdown Mystery Edition. Since Joel already brought us into the mystery, the mystery feeling already. Yeah. So I'll give you guys. There's mystery beer number 1 and mystery beer number 2. So we'll go ahead, try number 1 that I gave you guys.
A similar nose to that non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you can go ahead and try guessing the.
This is a
the
weed
style of
beer.
it.
This is a weed beer, isn't it? It tastes like a weed beer.
You think so?
A little
Could
bit.
be. Maybe
A little bit. It's got some little
This
dank
thing
notes.
highly of
it's
Chris
a shroom beer. No,
to bring a weed.
It's a shroom beer.
It's definitely. I mean, number 1, it's good. I mean,
Yeah, they're
it's
both
refreshing.
the same color. They're both clear, and yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try number 2 here.
It's
Try them
like
at your own pace. You don't
potpourri.
have to.
It's like very like not floral, but like just
Which one?
the first one.
I'm gonna guess that they're both hoppy lagers. Is my guess. Just generally speaking.
For me, the second one. I mean, I know what they are, so I'm a little bit of an advantage. So it's
don't
like,
tell us.
yeah. But
Wait,
I just
did you guys
tasting
try
them. Yeah, the
both?
second one is more
Okay.
clean, in my opinion. I feel like you get
Yeah.
more of a hoppy feel to the first one.
Second one is much more clean, I think.
I think I
Yeah, the
prefer-
second one tastes like Coors Light.
Oh, I
Like,
was gonna say I think I prefer the
one's
second
like-
one, but maybe that's the wrong answer.
So we'll go around. Like, I mean, we've had a chance to taste these. Like,
Yes.
first, I just want to go around and hear what you guys think is the better
He's
one.
Given us a Coors Light. I'm like living right now. Oh, I'm
I don't
really.
think-
I swear, I'm
I
fucking
don't-
out of here.
I don't think it is, but that's just kind of
I'm
what it
done.
reminds me of.
All right, so we'll
It's
go.
like
All right,
cold,
Allie, do you
crispy.
want to? What's your vote?
Well, I mean, I kind of just said it. I think the second one reminds me of Coors Light. I mean, it but
Mhm.
like some kind of like light lager, kind of. But I don't know. I feel like it could taste like that, but the brewery didn't intend that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's
So-
the case.
You
but-
never know. So,
So
which one are you
is it-
picking?
which
What's
one
your
are you-
favorite
yeah.
one?
Oh. I guess the second one. I kind of liked that taste.
Okay.
All right,
Mike?
she picks number 2.
I picked number 2.
I prefer the second one. I just like that it's smoother.
Okay.
I just like that cleanness.
Joel.
I think I'm gonna pick number 1. Actually, it's just dank. It's danker shims. It's very.
Danker thing,
It's got a little more going on. After I've sipped back and forth on them just a couple times, I like the lingering aftertaste that leaves behind whatever hops are in it or something. It's very stank. I like it. I think I like number 1 better.
I'll refrain. I mean, should I refrain from voting, or should I vote on which one I think?
No, why not? I mean,
I'll vote for number 1. Was my same kind of thing, a little bit more to it, in my opinion. Although I will say number 2 is crushable.
I was gonna
feel
say
like
that's
you're
why I
drinking
liked number 2.
I think they're
Yeah.
both crushable, but
So I'll show you number 1. Like I said, these are both available.
Oh,
So I didn't
hello,
close that pocket.
Syracuse.
Number 1 is STS Pills from Russian River.
what? That is
Yeah.
so like
Oh,
man.
Yeah, didn't
just
expect that one.
dank, weedy.
Yeah, right. I thought it was going to be a little
Herbaceous.
more.
What's number 2?
Number 2.
It's gonna be clever kiwi. It's gonna be clever kiwi.
Coors Banquet beer, motherfucker! Good call, Allie. Although you said this is Coors Banquet, this isn't Coors Light or something, but
Dude,
you preferred. You guys
What
preferred.
the
This
This is the
heck?
part of the
is
show where I kill the host.
Yeah, yeah. This is why
This
I
is
wanted to
where
do
we
this.
murder-
I thought that there was a good chance that
Wow.
like we would prefer.
dude,
Because it's not
I
a bad-
said it was Coors Light,
That's
man.
fucking
Well,
hilarious.
it's not Coors Light. It's Coors
Oh
Banquet.
my God.
It's full. It's full.
It's the
of-
banquet beer.
It's
Yeah.
fucking Coors. Like
Yeah.
I got it right.
Wow.
Bing bong hello.
So good job, yeah, Allie. Yeah, good job on that one.
High
baby.
fives
You did good.
around. Holy cow.
But it's, I mean, trying them blind back to back, you're like, yeah, that second one's a good lager. You know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
It reminds me. I love Coors
So,
Light. If you're
hey,
out on a
there you go.
boat
There you
all
have it. That
day,
was
I
the-
just
that
failed
was
my
the-
Cicerone test completely.
Russian
well, at least, yeah,
beer.
you chose the right. Hey, at least you were in these guys, so I can prefer in Coors
I
over
know,
Russian
honestly,
River.
yeah.
Fucking-
I think that just means that. I think what that really says is that STS pills ain't shit.
No, dude,
Oh,
Less like Coors is great, more than STS
they were, to
pills
be
ain't
honest,
shit.
tasting them. I mean, I was trying to find two more like Russian River level beer. Like, my intention wasn't to do macro at first, but I wasn't seeing anything else that lager wise that was going to compete with Russian River. If they had a different, I got Engren, but all they had was that Doppelbock
Oh,
or the.
right.
Is it Doppelbock? Is that what it was? A Doppel or
it was a
Dunkel
Doppelbock.
or Dunkel?
yeah.
I was
I think the first one was better, but yeah, the second one is just
No,
like,
it's a
dude,
Doppelbock.
good.
You can't go back on your word. No,
What you gave us is a Doppelbock
Well,
Gladiator.
I still stick with what I said.
You and I
could-
are in the trenches with the
Dude,
Coors.
So I thought that was a fun one. I thought that might get you guys.
I guessed the right thing. We
Yeah.
are not in the same trench. Get out of my trench. What are you talking about?
Allie had a little bit extra information. I told her that one of the beers you
No!
knew ahead of time that
The
one of them
truth
was going to
comes
be.
out.
To be
All
honest,
this bragging.
She didn't
and the
notice.
truth
She knew
comes
that one was
out.
going to be a macro beer.
Chris, I fucking forgot that.
Interessante.
She saw the receipt.
I do believe you forgot
And
that.
she
Joe.
was conveniently forgot.
You were like, "Oh, he wouldn't bring Coors Light." And I was
Husband
like,
believes
I
wife.
don't think so,
Tell me a story I haven't heard.
dude.
I'm so happy that
No,
that
the
was like.
truth is-
if you guys all would have picked Russian River, I would have been like, oh well. Yeah,
Chris,
I
I bet you were like, I bet you were so embarrassed to even buy that Coors Light. Like you're probably like,
oh, I didn't give a
man,
shit,
are
dude. It
people
was like, I
seeing
mean, I
me
got
buy
a
this?
Texas wine liquor. Like those guys don't know. It's not like I was getting it at like if I was like Bottlecraft, which they wouldn't even have this at Bottlecraft.
So when you
But-
say the level of Russian River, are you insinuating that their Pilsner game is strong?
That just their
Their brewery as a
their brewery as a whole, and also they're independent. You know, basically a
Right.
non-macro, basically
Right.
a regional level brewery that produces fire.
If someone ever asked me what Pilsner they should go after, I would have never said Russian River in a million gazillion
STS
years.
Pils, I thought, has got pretty good. Like people who like pilsners, typically, I feel like
It's a hoppy pills. It is
Yeah.
definitely a hobby pills. It's not a straight pills. It's a hobby pills.
Yeah.
So, all right, that was the first one.
We're getting Wayfinder distributed
Do you wanna
to
do,
San Diego. We don't need STS
You want to
Pils.
pour? I don't know if you guys are finished with yours. I feel like
Oh,
one thing I want to start with
I
these because these
crushed
would be a
my
little.
Coors
Yeah, these would be
Light.
a
Oh, I'm
little
about to
easier.
come to crush this. Yeah, this is a banquet beer.
Actually, can I rest that can?
I actually have another one.
Just
I have another Coors if you if you're interested. We
Palate
could
cleanser.
maybe
man.
maybe you could shotgun it.
If
Shotgun it.
Ruben,
Yeah.
I was just gonna
You shotgun it in
say,
place
if
of
Ruben
Ruben.
was here, he would shotgun it with me or.
Well,
next
Mike
week.
is technically Ruben today, so shotguns. No shit. No.
Hey guys,
I can,
Nirvana sucks.
I can tell you already the difference that's going to be between
I hate
these two
orange.
beers. Because so the two that I've got for battle beers are totally different style. I mean, we kind of just sort of winged it today a little bit on our battle beers. But I brought two stouts that have
You're always prepared. What are you talking about?
yeah, like blackberries, raspberries, those kind of berries in them.
Schnozberries.
Stouts with
Some
berries.
Schnozberries,
is kind of the way.
stouts with berries. Yeah, berry stouts. Not berry white, not berry mead. You know,
Ooh, some berry white right now would be
white.
Yeah, don't.
How do you say Cool Whip, Joel?
Cool Whip.
Okay.
You've done this before.
Well, never gets old.
Do we talk about this? You know like the number one ingredient in Cool Whip is, right?
Sugar, cream,
No, it's like the same. It's the same.
glue.
It's like the same main. It's
Gelatin?
like the same major ingredient that makes up condom lubricant.
Oh, that's right. You did tell us that.
It's like the primary ingredient of Cool Whip as well. Just FYI.
I
you
mean,
know.
every time I eat a condom, that reminds me of Cool Whip. So that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Holy shit.
So the first beer that's
Sound
going
bite
around is
of the entire podcast
Yeah.
series. That's the number one
That's
sound
not
bite,
where
by the
your
way.
guys' brain went.
Yeah.
so the first beer that's going around is Bottle Logic Jam the Radar. This is like a classic beer for them by now. This is probably like what is it, like the sixth time they've done this? Like 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. So fifth or sixth time they've done it. I lost count. The original Jam the Radar, fun fact, so was a I think it was a variant of Dark Star November.
Okay.
Which, if you
I mean,
know
a
what
lot of
that
the
was-
beers, a lot of the beers have that as the base, right?
No,
Or-
they don't actually.
Oh, what?
Because
I think
Dark Star
originally
November, well, Dark Star November is like an imperial
Rye
stout base, but it has
molasses.
rye and
Yeah.
molasses in it,
Yeah.
which is different from the other stouts. I think that it differs from the other stout bases. I could be wrong, but this is what my understanding was. So there were variants of Dark Star November because that was an award-winning stout that they did. But then everything else since, like that's been like FO things like that, I think have started with a slightly different base.
Award
wrong.
winning in like GABF?
Could be wrong.
Or
World Beer Cup silver.
Beer Cup. You know what I take? You know what
World Beer Cup.
You know what I rank as kind of a better like competition win is if you win FOBAB in some category.
Which
that to me-
Bottle Logic did.
Okay,
And
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
FOBAB
I
is-
Best in Show,
damn for what?
Arcane Rituals,
Oh,
English
that's right.
style
That was
barley
recent.
wine
That was
Beer's
recently, right?
amazing.
with Ritual Brewing.
I don't think I had that one.
I have one at my house if you want to drink it before I leave.
Bring it.
Go there, go back real quick.
Just bring me on
Yeah.
for a second. Yeah, he's guest number
What's
2 because he has
FOBAB
Arcade
or whatever
Rituals.
Hey!
FOBAB is the festival of barrel aged beers.
Oh yeah, me and the audience knew that.
It sounds like FOMO,
Yeah, sorry.
Clarifying.
but not.
That's one of those. That's one of the festivals. I think I might have brought it up in our
I know. As soon as I
festivals
said
that we
that,
wish we could go to or stuff. But
you read my
FOBAB
mind
is one
when I
that
guessing
I would
the
like to
same
go to in the future.
And I committed the bottle share faux pas of not removing the wax before I came. So I'm sorry. I'm struggling with the wax.
I got my wax.
Oh, here, you want to do it? Here, I'll pass it to you.
Oh,
There's
nice
a-
work.
There's a little bit of wax.
I've
drip,
recently
just like a
become
little
really
wax
good
drip.
at cutting the wax off.
Mhm.
Well, I got this.
He's got it. He's getting it with the nifty. I got like the top part off, but not the side part off.
Yeah, you can't get any leverage with this.
Yeah, you can't get a thing.
Gifties.
So the other one I've got that I'm opening, I haven't explained what it is a McKellar San Diego
Viking
beer. This was a Viking Club beer from, I want to say, so this is probably the third year Viking Club membership, I'm guessing, because you got 4 So this is number 11. So this would have been the third year. And what they did was they brewed a beer with, thank you, Sal. They brewed a beer with, whoa, there's like a long, thin tendril of wax.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see this. It's like a hair. It's like a wax hair.
Yeah, it's kind of
What
weird.
the heck?
It might throw you
I
off.
didn't notice that before. Weird.
Well, maybe it happened when we were trying to like strip it open or
I
something.
think they
Dude.
call that a pubesicle.
Yeah, something like that. Where was I?
Good beer name.
This beer. Oh my god. So
Good
this,
imprint beer name or something. Or
Imprint
450 North. Yeah.
no. So this beer began life
They
as
did
a
it. People would buy that shit.
Imperial Stout collaboration between McKellar San Diego and Three Sons. Shout out to our friend and Magic, and apologies in advance for the beer bracket,
Yeah.
which we're about to do, that does not have you guys on it. And I specifically lobbied for you to be on it, and you didn't get on there, and so it's not my fault.
Hey, you don't
It's
make
Chris's
the cut.
fault,
You don't,
and it's
you don't make
Ruben's
the
fault.
cut. You don't make the cut. You know what I
I'm
mean?
throwing these guys under the bus for it. But anyways, so this was a collaboration beer, and it was just like an Imperial Stout with, I think they had blackberries in it. And they canned it, and then they brewed, or they put some of it in barrels. And this one was a special release only to the Vikings. I'm just going to taste test a little bit.
Don't too hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was that a
yeah.
rinse? Was that a rinse pour?
That was a rinse pour, but also a
Also.
preview pour for myself.
I love the callback to some of the bottle share do's and don'ts over here.
Yeah.
Mike
I
had some of
know.
those, and then
We
the
had
the rinse
some-
pour. Like it's
one
these things are like
person was
now I'm
listening.
like I feel like I'm actually more cognizant of going to a bottle share now with like all right, I got my water. Like I mean I have been for a little while, but like especially coming here, I'm like all right, I got to make sure I have my water. I got my glasses. Don't want to be
Well, since we did the episode here, like we have no excuse. Like you can't
Yeah,
be
exactly.
showing up.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's.
You can't be preaching this stuff and then showing up and not practicing it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
What
come
is
on.
that like soundbite that's like the Greek Renaissance? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there needs to be like
Holy shit balls!
there needs
So,
to be a
Deadpool too.
That sounds
There needs
like
to be a
the
repeating
psycho
serious
music too, like
where
in
you
the
were talking
shower.
about the do's and don'ts, and that's the intro to that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That would be a good. That would
Bottle
be a
share
good.
do's and don'ts.
Or it's it is like it's a Gregorian chant or something like that. Or
Yeah, exactly.
oh, sorry, excuse me, that was not good. So, anyways, long story short, they barrel aged this beer in a couple different types of barrels. I don't know all the types, but in the end, they ended up canning the result as like a barrel aged stout that was a blend of rye whiskey barrel aged and cinnamon whiskey barrel aged imperial stout that had the blackberries in it. And the resulting canned beer was pretty good, but this beer was only the cinnamon whiskey barrel aged component. They just bottled it straight up by itself for the members. And this was one of my favorite beers of the year that it came out, whatever year. It's got to be a couple years now since it came out. So I don't know how it's
McKellar
aged. Yeah, the McKellar one. I don't know how it's aged. So we're putting it up against a brand spanking new, super fresh version of Jam the Radar, which I think is the way to have Jam the Radar. So this is a battle beer.
Yeah, those fruited
It's
stouts.
similar, yeah, it's similar styles, but like they're years apart in age. So it'll be interesting to see what you guys think of them. Which one first?
Which
Jam
one
the
should I
Radar
drink first? Yeah.
So that's what I went with.
You know, I don't care. You can.
Oh, okay. Sorry for asking.
I don't care. No, drink the McKellar one first. Actually.
Killer.
Oh, I did the opposite.
Oh, they both smell really good. That McKellar one has a lot on the aroma.
The Killer's got like that distinctly like their beers have like a very deep taste. I don't know what the right way to say this, but it's like you just tell there's like you really get those roasty notes, but it's not like only roasty.
Is that a
it's roasty.
BJCP like deep?
Yeah.
Is that a BJCP?
I don't know. You
like,
just smell it.
beer
You just like
flavor?
smell it.
Deep,
You
like
know.
fisting, right? Like
Yeah.
that kind of deep, right?
Mhm.
Basically, you want
Iron
to get
Fist.
elbow. You want to get elbows deep on this one. This kind of.
Oh, this beer still is really good. Oh,
And
The
so you
Jam
like.
the
So you were a fan
Radar-
of. You were so the McKellar one. What's it called again? What's the name of this?
just called Viking 11.
Viking
doesn't
11,
have doesn't have a sexy name.
And
or
you were a
anything.
fan of this when it first came out.
Oh yeah, when it first came out, I was like, oh, like my habit was just to drink them right away and be like, I'm not going to wait.
This is
And I
good.
drank this one. I was like, oh crap.
This is good. It's. Let me see that bottle again, Ellie, please. It's
Yeah.
good.
So Jam the Radar's raspberries, and then Viking 11 is blackberries.
Imperial Stout brewed with blackberry and spices, aged in cinnamon whiskey barrels. Okay.
On the
I
break,
don't
you were
know what the
mentioning the
spices
power
are.
smooth, and I remember it not being raspberries. That's why I was confused. But then you said blackberries. That makes more sense.
That's what it was. Blick.
And what's cool is the
Blackberries.
blackberries are actually playing off. You almost, if you didn't tell me there was berries, you might think it's just a, like, you know, that dark fruit character you get in like stouts just naturally, like
Yeah.
oh dark, like you might
Or, like,
you almost
figgy.
kind of kind of figgy. You
Mhm.
kind of comes off like that character. It's not
Yeah.
like oh like which I'm assuming because I've had Jam the Radar. You're like okay, there's fucking raspberries in this bitch.
Jam
You know
the
what I mean?
Radar is like a berry truffle chocolate.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
like-
And that's
chocolate
exactly
covered.
what they pair
Yeah.
it with every year. They do it.
Oh,
Yeah, they have some like
They make some
boutique
like
truffle
crazy looking
company.
ones, right?
Yeah,
It's like
crazy. Yeah.
This
So-
is good. This is, I mean, to be honest, when you're describing it to me pre-show, Joel, I was like, this sounds all right. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always skeptical of berry
Always skeptical
beers.
of beers that I recommend, just in general.
No, berry
as a-
beers,
as a-
berry stouts. I already happen to know that, you know, Jam the Radar is usually pretty good. So I was like, okay, you know, but, you know, how many
Ooh.
berry beers have you had that are just like, this
I mean,
is kind of weird?
you would think it'd be good though because berries with chocolate are usually always
It does,
good.
yeah, it
I
goes a
mean,
lot better than what you.
I guess it's maybe just some people do it poorly and
I just think that the family, like the blackberries, raspberries,
family.
that family of berries pairs really well with
Cosa
chocolate.
Nostras,
Because the
family.
earthy,
Oh,
the
wow.
earthy, like kind of acidity and stuff they have, like goes really well with the bitter chocolate.
Dude, this is a
Mhm.
this is a mean battle beer showdown right here. I'm having trouble.
This
like-
reminds
I
me of-
actually find. Oh yeah, go for it.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say it's like better than the Valentine's Day like chocolate strawberry. Like I feel like this reminds me of like a chocolate covered fruit. Like
Yeah.
obviously it's
Well, this is barrel aged for.
raspberries.
You're talking about the one that Joel brought on the last show.
yeah. I feel like
Yeah. I mean, that's like fine
This is a
art
better-
versus. You know, not to say that the other beer wasn't good, but this is like, I mean,
no.
barrel
But I
aged.
feel like this is like what they should have described that other beer. Like this is tastes like a chocolate chip
Yeah, that's
fruit.
Okay, Allie, have you picked one? Do you have a favorite yet?
Oof, jeez. Do you have a favorite, Joel? Do you know?
I know.
I feel like
but
it's apples to
I don't
oranges.
know.
I do. Apples
It's
to
actually
oranges.
blackberries.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
blackberries or
I
raspberries.
feel like.
Joel, you tell us yours.
Oh, Chris, I love you. You're a beautiful man.
He wants to strangle me right now.
I have a pick.
Not
I have a
with my
pick,
hands,
but I
though.
brought them, so I kind of want to wait and get everybody else to say
think-
what they think before I say mine.
I mean, my answer. Not that my answer is going to be biased, but I'm often, you know, maybe for better or for worse, when my expectation is exceeded, I tend to prefer that because it's just an awesome feeling when you're like something blows your mind. You know what I mean?
I have to pick Jam the Radar because I think when a stout is this heavily fruited, it's usually terrible.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they can get away with fruiting it this much and it's still amazing, it blows my mind.
I respect
Because I
that,
feel like
for
the
sure.
the McKellar one is amazing, and I would typically say that's better. But I don't know how Bottle Logic gets away with over fruiting the heck out of this stout, and it's still so good.
No,
That
it's-
that aspect
Yeah.
is why I hold it in such high regard.
Allie, what do you say?
I agree. I feel like the JAMA radar is just, it's what I want it to be. But I feel like maybe the age is hard to compare because I wonder if this would hold up in a year or two. And how old is the McKellar beer? That's
I'm gonna guess going on 3 years.
Damn, that's actually a fucking pretty good fucking show for the.
that's what I mean. So it's like for a 3-year-old beer, that's actually really good. But it's hard to. It's just hard.
Give
'cause
us
I think
give
the
us an
Jam
answer,
the Radar is
Allie.
better.
But which one's better?
Jam the radar.
Generator.
All right, Chris.
I'm gonna.
What do you
buck-
think?
I think
I
I'm gonna
hope we're
buck.
doing
I'm
this
gonna.
podcast
I'm gonna
in
buck
3
the
years,
trend.
though.
I'm gonna go the McKellar beer, the McKellar 11. It's just like I said for what I was expecting. Maybe it's just a matter of that I'm used to Jam the Radar killing it and being such a good beer because there was not a bad beer in these. I mean, I think everybody would agree that both of them were pretty great examples. Excuse me, and I just got to say, like, I was just more impressed and maybe just more exceeded expectations by the McKellar beer. And for being now, Joel telling me it's almost 3 years old.
It is 3
That
years
is
old. I just looked
fucking
it up.
incredible.
do you
That's
think
pretty
because
incredible.
it's what was your expectation? It was good.
No, well, like it just seemed like the like I said, just besides Jam the Radar being such a successful example, there's not like a huge amount of
So they
My
were kind of
opinion.
underdog, and they
it's kind of an
they
underdog thing.
impressed you?
At the two that I was thinking, I was expecting to like Jam the Radar more, and the fact that they were that close.
You just
I'm
gave it
just
to the
to me,
other
I'm
one?
giving the nudge. Yeah, to me, it was like kind of head and head. And I'm giving the nudge to McKellar because I was just that much more exceeded of expectation. And then just
So is that
yeah, just
B
in general.
plus that just became an A minus real quick?
yeah, it's kind of when you're on the fringe of like C or a D, and I'm passing. No, That was a bad example because these were both more like B's and A's.
Do you find
That's
the
what I
McKellar
was
one?
saying.
Yeah,
Do you
Just
find the
go with what I
McKellar one
was
to be
saying.
more like nuanced and balanced?
Yeah, it's a little bit more nuanced, a little bit more going on. It was actually
Yeah.
it was interesting with the jammed radar, and I'll give it to Joel here in a second. But the jammed radar, the fruit kind of hits you a little bit late in a way, whereas I feel like it's like two different beers. It's like you get the chocolate and then you get the raspberry. At least on my first sip, and then with the McKellar, it tasted a little bit more homogenous in a way, where you kind of get
Yeah.
that blackberry in there with like
They're
the
a little more
spices.
married and
It's a little bit more married, and it makes sense knowing the age on that. So
yeah, it's a more evolved relationship.
so
That's very well
I'm gonna
said, Chris.
say,
I just
yeah.
tried that. It's very well said.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna stick with McKellar.
All right, yeah, sure.
Joel, so what you either gonna make a tie or push it over for?
No, I was already all in on McKellar. I loved this beer when it first came out. It blew my mind. It went on my top list of beers for that year. I haven't had it since. I don't think I only had it maybe one time since.
Wow, thanks
It
for
came out.
sharing.
Wait, Joel. Wait,
Yeah,
I
I
have
feel
to ask
honored.
you how
So-
many are on this list of top beers of the year? Is it like 10?
So each year I've been actually trying to do it, and I'm just failing to post or publish it.
Oh, I want to know the mental notes.
The mental notes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
God.
mean, like you
when
said,
we
like-
did it, we did it last year. We did it on our last podcast, or not last podcast, but one of the last podcasts of the year, where we were going down our favorites from 2020.
But I mean, do you have like
Um,
20 in your head, or like? I'm just wondering how your brain works, because you were like,
I-
my top beers of the year.
Yeah, I basically had a beer that grabbed my attention in the moment that I had it, and I put it in that list basically.
Gotcha.
Because there's, we all had beers that are good beers that are okay beers, mediocre beers, whatever. When we were doing shares all the time, Tuesday night beer society shares before pandemic and everything, there would always be, a beer that would show up at a share that was something that no one had, or was new or whatever, or someone was looking forward
Your
to.
little black beer
It
book.
came out of left field. There's one that I can remember. This is a weird example, but there's Bent Paddle Brewing from Minnesota. Does anyone know Bent Paddle?
Never
No,
heard of
no,
them.
Bent Paddle.
I
they
like
make-
that name,
Oh, you're not
that's
talking about
funny.
Forager? No, I don't know what they
Nope, not Forager. No,
are. I don't know who that is.
but they make
Bent
like
Paddle.
a coffee porter or something. I forget, and I forget exactly what it's called or what the style is. But I got a bottle from someone that was like a barrel aged variant of that, and brought it to a share and just casually popped it as one does. So I'm like, I don't know what this beer is. Let's try it.
Yeah, see what
And
happens.
it was one of those things that I was like, holy crap! Like it kept coming back to over and over and over again. And so this was a beer that from the moment I first had it, I was like, oh shoot! It kept coming back to it because it was so well balanced. I think this beer is actually held up. I think it tastes today, very, very, very close to the same that it tasted when it was.
Yeah, I was gonna
fresh.
say it doesn't feel like any flavors would have fallen off because I
No.
get the berries, I get the spices and kind of cinnamon note, which you'd expect the cinnamon stuff to hold on. Probably the spices are gonna be the flavor that dies with this beer. You know what I mean? That's gonna be the stuff that holds.
I don't
on.
know who the barrel director is or the production brewer that might have been involved with this, but I got to give another shout out to the man Dan Katie.
It had to
Yeah.
be
Not
Dan.
another,
It
but I'm sure
it had to
he's
been him.
He's
I'm sure
probably
he's
the
been
longest
shouted out on
tenured.
this podcast, right?
I thought you were just
I
kidding
mean,
about saying you didn't know who it was. I'm like, it has to be him. It has
Well,
to
Well,
be
they
him.
went through a lot of. The early. This is 3 years old. Didn't that? I know there was a head brewer that left.
two to 3 years old.
So
I'm
the
look- I
old
gotta
head
look it
brewer
up.
was Bill Baxton. That was the old AleSmith brewer. He tried to take McKellar down to the flames. He didn't like that place.
Down to the flames.
Let's take let's
Super
go ahead and
nice guy,
take
by the
one
way.
more break before we hop into the last battle beer, and
Yeah,
then
we
that'll
all-
take us to
we
our
all gave
last,
our
and then
opinions
also
on
take us our last. Yeah, I think everybody gave.
So we
our-
basically had a tie both times, huh? It was a 50-50 split both times because there's 4 of us and there's 2 beers. And
I know, it's like-
well, hey,
without
Zach,
conscience-
Zach, and the producer Zach. What do you think is going to be the best one? Rob, speaking of-
producer Zach is like halfway across town by now. I don't know
Yeah.
what his is like
Yeah.
asleep right now. I don't know. He had a long day.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 ties. I guess what we could do is, I mean, if we're for the record books, maybe we'll ask Ruben when he comes back next show. He'll put the kibosh on this thing.
Well, he didn't have these beers. He wasn't here. No.
I don't know.
shit,
Ruben's
that's right.
not really.
I'll put it in a
opinionated.
vial. I'll put it in a vial.
Okay, all
I'll
right.
ship it to him.
All right.
Well,
I think
I'll ship it.
if I could speak for Ruben, I think he would say that the McKellar beer is better, and I think I would agree with that. But I
I know he likes Jan the Radar though.
I
But
don't
the
know.
novelty-
Yeah,
Okay, fair enough. You're right. But the novelty of Jan the Radar is why I picked it. Is that
Yeah.
it's so heavily fruited. But you made a really good point about being fruited on the back end,
Mhm.
whereas the other one's more
Which is
homogeneous.
it was kind of a crazy sensation when you think about it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's no berry in this, and I was like, oh, there it is. It's kind
Yeah.
of cool.
Yeah.
But hey, let's take another quick break, and then we'll hop into the last stuff here. All right, and we're back here with our final battle beer of the evening. This one is provided by Mike Jones himself. We got another keeping the theme consistent here of mystery battle beers. After taking a break from temporarily with Joel's pairing, but why don't you go ahead, Mike, and tell us what these? I mean, not what they are, but what we're going to be tasting.
Well, hang on. Do you want him to tell us what they are, or we're going to taste them and
Well, I think we
rate them and rank them,
them,
and then he'll tell them what they are? Tell
Well,
us what they are.
don't tell us. Yeah, I guess
I don't know. I don't know. How do you want to do it? Because I don't know what they are. I have no idea. I mean, I have some idea.
Delayed the
but not
cards because
much
I
idea.
happen to know, or like you mentioned earlier, that it is Monkish, Side Project, and Casey.
Word.
So those are the three. Yeah, we
Oh.
don't have to know anything more than that. I guess.
Joel, I guess we know what
Tainted
they
the
are.
jury pool.
And they're all blackberries.
Oh, fluff.
Hey, I feel
Wait,
like I knew that. And I
Are
wanted you guys to
they,
be the
are
same
they all
level.
beer?
No,
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
some is come.
Some
Some is
some is toothpaste.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
some is
I
dental
couldn't help myself.
cleaner.
It's,
Well,
All
I
right.
didn't
Well, we're
listen
gonna-
to
well,
this
at this
on the
point,
last
we have
show.
basically beer
His last
one.
statement might be the most correct. Some is dental cleaner. Who knows? Who really knows?
So it's basically beer 1, 2, and 3 that we're
Beer
going to be going
uno,
through.
dos, and tres.
Should we start
So-
with one?
There's
So
beer uno,
choose your-
dos, tres,
choose your own
and cuatro,
adventure kind of
cinco,
thing
cinco,
here.
seis.
So yeah, for the,
Just
for the
keep
listeners,
track of what you're tasting. Then
we'll reveal what these beers are and
So
we'll
we're gonna
explain them to you.
let's
But
do nose and flavor for the
but-
first one. Everyone, if we can do
yeah,
that.
nose and flavor. So
I'll let Joel lead us off.
Head, shoulders, nose, and flavor.
the nose. Well, so assuming we're all on number one right now,
Assuming.
the nose is like
Ass.
mild,
Assuming.
like fruit. You know,
I feel
berry,
like a jammy kind
uh,
of sweetness to it in a way.
a little vanilla on the nose, at least.
It's got a pleasant, like I said, almost
It's
candy-like
tart.
smell. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Have you tried it?
it's
But
got a zip.
tart. Yeah.
Oh, it's got some
Oh.
zip.
Some
The end of
zip
that,
and
the
zang.
back of my jaw, I'm like, you're
Yep.
be dare
It's
you.
like
It's when you can feel it in your cheeks. You can feel it right in your cheeks right
it
here.
seemingly is actually probably the lightest of all. I'm looking at all three of them. Maybe the lightest of all of them.
It is the lightest colored
Yeah.
of all of them. Yes.
They're all
It's
pretty red.
usually
They're all kind
hard.
of ruby red in a way.
I am not. I'm no expert, but I'm going to guess that this is the Casey.
The first one.
That's what I'm going to guess. That's what I'm going to guess. I have no idea though. I'm
We're not even
probably completely wrong.
of the way into it. He's already got
Mike, you remember which
I'm
ones
guessing
you
this is the
poured,
Casey,
right?
bro.
Well, it's I have it. I got it.
Let's just make sure.
It's a system.
Okay.
Hey, number two. What's number two?
Dude, number 3's got a crazy smell to it.
Dude, number two is much
Oh,
darker,
number
much
two.
richer colored. Chris is just barreling ahead. He's just
Yeah,
powering
he
it
is.
through.
He is. What do you
Thank
get?
you, Joel. I was like, I'm not even on 2. And Chris
I'm
was
on
like,
beer
oh,
number
3
4
is-
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, number two smells like much more like earthy, like
Joel, describe to
Oh.
me the flavor of number 2, because I'm like, holy shit, talking mushrooms.
That's a sweet
sugary,
description.
sugary.
Yeah,
Mike and I were together the other night. I'm not going to say what beer it was, but we had
Or
a
what we
beer.
were doing, but we were together.
We
Just all
were
two
together,
together.
yes, but we had a beer, and the flavor, I was trying to figure out what the flavor was, and I figured out it was aspartame was the thing. And as soon as I said that, he was like, aspartame, damn it. He couldn't, like, untaste it.
No, you
So,
can't.
I
like
don't want-
aspartame, as in like
Fake
the,
sugar.
or like
Like Splenda?
No, it's
like
like a sugar
a
alternative, exactly.
okay.
Yeah, aspartame. It's like in like diet
Splenda?
fucking soda.
it's like NutraSweet or something. I think it's
Yeah,
aspartame
yeah,
or something
terrible.
like
Like
that.
stevia, kind of.
Anyways, I don't. So this is
Not even
much
stevia,
more
it's that
like this is much more like rich fruit. Like
Yeah, 100%.
it's not even
like
like
Jolly
You can see it in the
Rancher.
color.
it's
This is
like
real sugar.
this is like wine tannin kind of level of fruit. It's
Do you
like
feel
the fruit
cinnamon
roll up
almost,
without the
or am I
sugar.
tripping out?
No, I think cinnamon's a good one.
Yeah.
I get, but it's like straight like cinnamon, like straight,
That's what I'm
not
saying, yeah.
sweet, not
No,
like
no.
candy or anything.
No.
It's like just straight that kind of like cinnamon spice. Totally.
Yeah. Okay, I'm moving on to the
Whoa,
third
I feel
one.
like now that you say that, I'm
Chris has
getting
been
that.
there
but
an hour
I
ago.
still
Almost
got
like
some-
the second one almost has like a complexity akin. I won't say it's lambic tasting, but it almost more akin to a lambic.
I think so.
The first one was a little bit more straightforward. I
Yeah.
felt like in terms of it's tart. I'm actually my thought, like I said, without talking about the third one, I feel like the first one might have been Side Project, and then the second one is Casey. But
Whoa. Okay.
the third one though has got a weird. To me, I don't know if it's just like the way it's hitting me.
Jumping ahead.
We're on third.
Oh yeah, the
So-
third one is kind of different.
I'm wondering if the third one
The
is monkish. Is what
That's
I'm
what I-
wondering.
It's
that
weird,
what-
but at the same time, I'm like the more I keep sniffing it, the more I'm kind of almost getting a fruit roll up type feel to it.
I
For the
feel
third
like
one, right?
fruit
I
roll up
feel
could
like
be
I got-
applied to all three of them.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say thank you, Joel, because I was getting fruit roll up hard on the second one.
The third one is
Okay, so I
The
feel like I
most
haven't heard
light-
Allie that much on this. Allie, what do you think about the 1 through 3?
I feel like the first one's really tart. I feel like the
Okay.
second one is very candy, like fruit roll up. It's exactly what I was getting. Not even fruit roll up. Like, remember the
fruit by the foot.
no? Oh no, I guess it was. No, I
Gushers?
guess the same thing.
Oh,
No,
are
no.
you thinking of those like
The
fruit-
leathers?
like leathers? Yeah.
No,
from the grocery
I was thinking
store?
the ones
The
that you have to like pull apart,
Like a
but
square,
I guess that is
yeah.
the fruit roll up. Like,
Yeah, fruit
you
by the foot
pick
is the
out-
long one. Yeah.
Now I'm wondering if the first one
Yeah.
is monkish.
I
Now I'm
think-
wondering. I'm second guessing myself.
Well, Casey to me has usually got a more funky base than Side Project does, and to me, the first one was the most single note. And not that that's a bad thing, but I know Side Project can get a little like single note. Like they're phenomenal beers, but to me, they're usually a little bit more straightforward compared to Casey. I like three. Three's it's just interesting. It's a little bit more nuanced. There's a little. It's complex, I guess you could say. Like it's just not your like when I smell it. It's interesting. I don't know how like it just kind of it changes as you smell it. I don't know. Like I'm gonna say like my personal guess. I'll go start. I guess I'll go.
Are
first.
you going to guess the breweries or what? Just say what's better.
I'm gonna. Well, I guess I'll give both. Let me taste again one more time.
Okay, yeah, this is great. So battle beers / blind tasting. So we're gonna guess the breweries and also pick our favorites.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
No pressure.
All right, no pressure, but just be really super sure before you say it, because once you say it, it's you can't erase it. It's like permanent marker.
If
It's
people
done,
heard it,
you
they
know?
can't unhear
Yep.
it.
Monkish can be a bit one note too, so that's why I'm like getting kind of thrown off. All right, I'm gonna go.
You sound one note.
Fuck you out. I'm gonna go. Side Project is number 1. Casey number 2. Monkish number 3. And my preference is 2, 1, 3 in that order. This 2 is the number of the
Okay,
bat. Is the
cool.
best. 2, 1, 3.
Whoa.
He
You remember that?
nailed that scientifically. That was beautiful. 2, 1, 3. Joel Sophian?
So he's right, or
No. He said he was very precise in
I
his
knew what I-
words.
yeah.
Yeah. He was saying, what'd you say? You said Side Project,
It's
Casey,
number 1.
Monk,
Yeah.
and you said 2, 1, 3.
Yeah. So the Casey, the one that I used to,
Eloquently, no
the one that I'm
reservations.
thinking, the one that I'm thinking is
Your husband
is
well spoken.
so who wants it next.
Who wants it next?
Yeah,
Hey.
who wants this?
I wish
I
I
am
had that.
I am
couch.
super
you
like
got on the couch.
I am super uncertain at this point. Actually, I had my gut
Joel's
reactions.
uncertain. Ooh, I like that.
I had my gut reactions, and now I'm second guessing my gut reactions. And so the question is, do I go with my gut, or do I second guess myself and kind of
Dude,
go
the
with what I
blind
think?
tastings are next.
So,
the
I
the
think
blind
I'm-
tastings are next level. I just got to say, like
Yeah.
it's doing like I said, just to go to show like that first one that Coors was even in the same mix as STS pills is like it just goes to show like when you don't know what you're
Oh,
drinking,
and I nailed
it just
it.
goes to show what your bias is. Yeah,
I
you
think
did nail
it
like
has more to do with what you prefer for flavor
Nailed it.
profile, less to do with how the quality of the beer. Because I just realized that I didn't like hoppy lagers as much as I thought I did. Because
Yeah.
my main thing, the reason why I liked the Coors one more is because like it's smooth. That's all I
It's
thought.
Crusher. I feel like
I
it
was
was like,
like,
if I
one
could
is
drink a bunch
not
of these,
smooth,
yeah.
the other is.
So
Totally.
I don't know. I'm gonna guess that number 1.
They're all good. They're all very good too.
All
by
right,
the
so
way.
I'm recording this again. So I'm doing this off the cuff. I didn't take notes. I'm guessing that number 1 is Casey. I'm guessing number 2 is Monkish, and I'm guessing number 3 is Side Project.
Wrong.
Those are my guesses. Those are my guesses. They're probably wrong. I'm gonna say number 2 is my favorite, and then I'm gonna say number 3 is my second favorite, and then number 1 is my least favorite.
So you went Casey, Side Project, Monkish?
Well,
I went
Well,
Casey.
no, he
No,
went-
1, 2, 3. I went Casey, Monkish, Side Project.
Casey, Monkish, Side Project.
That's what I went. Again, I've just tasted 3 of them back to back to back to back over and over again.
1, 2, 3.
No, we don't know. That's what I'm saying.
No,
right
his
there.
first
That's,
four-
that's
his
my
first
guess.
four-
Third four.
And then I'm saying that I like number 2 best, and then number 3 was in the
You
middle,
go-
and then number 1
you're 2, 3,
last.
1. Joel's 2, 3, 1.
I'm 2, 3, 1.
2, 1, 3.
Right.
2, 3, 1. Yeah. So
And you guys remember your individual numbers.
And we'll go out. It might
yeah.
go last. so
Please
we'll-
remember them because
Here, I'll write it. Here, I got a pen.
I'm losing coherence as we speak. I gotta tighten my microphone. Sorry. All right, so Allie, you're up.
Okay.
I love how Allie's almost finished hers. That's great.
I know, right?
She's like, these
I
beers are
think-
terrible.
No, they're all good. I think the first one is Casey. I
Okay.
think the second one. Well, I think the third one is Monkish, and the second one is. Or I mean, yeah. What's the last?
It would be side project would be that last one, right? You said
Yes,
Casey,
side
Monkish,
project.
and then-
Casey, side project, Monkish is what I'm guessing.
Chris is writing it down. I love it. Is that what you're writing down?
Yeah, I'm writing
What a
down
guy.
both things.
That's great.
That is
And
great.
then-
Thank you, babe. And I think my favorite is number one, which I think is Casey. Which I
So you're
could
gonna go.
be-
One is your favorite.
One is my favorite, and I think that's Casey. Two, I think, is Side Project, and three, I think, is Monkish. We're rating them in order.
So you think no? You just think 1, 2, and 3. You think is the first one. You think is Casey. The second one you think is Side Project. The third you think is Monkish.
Correct.
And then what's your favorite? So 1
One.
and
I like the tartness.
in order 1. Then what?
One. I guess one, then two, then three. To be honest.
We'll put some foghorns in here.
And
I
so,
mean, you can tell by the beers.
and
I've
Joel,
been
you
drinking,
said
yeah.
Case. You think it's Casey, Monkish.
I put Casey Monkish side project
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and then I put 2, 3, 1 as my faves.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
And I'll give you mine really quick.
put them in the spreadsheet,
And then-
you know, and then yeah, get ready. Here we go,
So you-
Mike, who knows what they are?
Yeah, actually, I
Well,
don't.
yeah,
Oh, you don't?
So
What?
I kept them in
mixed them up.
order,
We put them in
but
brown
I took
bags.
they're all brown bags, so I don't actually technically know. I just kept them in order.
You know
and
what
then
your
have my
favorite-
glass.
you know what your-
Oh, did you blindfold yourself and like turn in a circle?
No, I didn't. I
like,
didn't even look at the bottle when I had it around the brown
Yeah.
bag like this, like strangled the.
Oh.
We'll go with it. We'll go
He
with it.
blind
Yeah.
tasted himself.
Yeah,
That's
no,
a skill.
I did. I just didn't pay attention. I was just holding
He
it,
was
and
using
making
his
sure
left
you guys
hand,
were not
you guys.
looking.
I actually have a injury to my frontal cortex lobe, and so I just can't forget. I can't remember everything after 5
Frontal
minutes.
cortex lobe.
Yeah.
Point taken, Chris. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Fuck
My
me.
frontal cortex
kidding.
lobe is
So
damaged.
I'm gonna say SP Casey Monkish,
That's the same way I went.
and then I'm gonna say I preferred 2-3-1.
2, 3, 1. That's
Hey, that's the same
That's
as my
it.
preference.
So whatever
2, 3,
number
1,
2 is
1.
2, 3, 1. 2 is by far the winner. The three
Everyone
out of four.
likes
3
2.
out of 4 of us put 2 as number 1, and then Allie had 2 as her second favorite.
What'd you say was your first favorite, Allie?
1.
Oh,
Number
1. Oh, wow.
I had 1 as my second favorite,
I like the tart.
but
need a
2 for
spreadsheet.
sure. 2 for like so. No matter what, 2 for sure wins. So.
Yeah.
Let's
So I
go
just
to the
unveil
two
Yeah,
ones.
let's. Well,
Let's
no, it's
do-
a belt. Go in order. Let's do number
Okay,
1.
okay,
Do number
order.
1.
Let's see.
Do number 1.
So number 1 is.
I'm about to disappoint myself. Oh! Number 1 is Casey.
I got it. I got
Damn
it.
it. Wow.
I got it. I got it. I got it. Oh,
I'm
I got it.
shocked.
I got it. I got it. Yeah,
Me
yeah.
too. Me
Number
too.
1 kind of got last place, right?
Unless you were me.
I mean, for me it was last place. For
he
you it
has,
was last
he has it written
place.
down.
It got the
Um,
most 3. Actually, Allie and I both had number 3 as last 2.
Oh, okay. Got you. Okay.
It's close. Who cares? If you didn't win, you're last. If you, yeah,
Doesn't bother.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that was Casey.
Wow, good call, guys.
Good job.
All right, what's number 2 then?
Good job, Russ.
My favorite.
Coors Light.
Side project.
Side project.
Oh,
So you guys got it.
Oh.
So you
I'm fucking shocked.
Oh.
Okay.
For the record,
was
I'm
right.
shocked.
I guessed them all right. I guessed them all right.
Wow.
Allie was the only one who guessed them all right.
You
Then
guessed them all right, but you got it wrong in terms of what everybody thought was the best ones. You were like actually exact opposite of
No,
them.
wait. I got it right, and you fuckers got it wrong. How can you tell me I guessed them all right and I got them wrong?
I'm just kidding. I'm just,
So, can I say for the record,
Yeah.
when I was in Kansas City on my 24-state trip, we did the Peach the Cut versus Fuzzy from Side Project versus Shared Tree from, or Same Tree from Monkish. So it was Casey, Side Project, and Monkish. And Peach the Cut was far and away the best one.
damn.
Everyone loved that the most from Casey. Monkish was a close second, a little bit tart, a little bit acidic, and then the third was Fuzzy. People didn't even really like that one in comparison to the other
Was
two.
it too sour? Or?
Too sour.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
And then in
case law.
this is like the side project is the most dynamic. I think it has the most
Yeah.
going on.
You guys, I
Yeah.
got them all right. Can we
Yeah.
at least recognize that?
But
We
let's
recognize
point
it.
out that the Casey's the oldest.
Yeah,
that Jamie
everybody
is, like,
only
4 years
Allie got
old.
all 3 right, and then the rest of us only got 1 right, basically.
Yeah.
That happens
Yeah.
a lot when I blind taste beer.
Allie's gonna be on the high horse the rest of the show,
Yeah.
guys.
I mean,
But
I
in
saw
terms of
Brewers
the
as
beers,
well.
yeah, damn. All right, here we go.
Like, oh, am I just
High horse.
All right, so
I'm
that's
dusting Allie's shoulders off, by the way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now
I
that
don't
leads.
I
if
mean,
you're
it feels
listening.
good.
Now that leads
Don't even
into
need it.
the main, the main feature of the night. When to introduce this, I think it's really cool. Like this was one thing I have to say. This is Ruben's idea, and it's a bummer he can't be here. But we're gonna have a part 2 to this that he will get to have his input and say.
Well, hang on. What was beer number 3?
Oh, well, let's just see, Josephine.
I'm not a
It's actually
Sherlock.
not mine.
That
It's
process of
Oh my
elimination.
God! Look, it's Hill Farmstead.
Oh, bait and switch.
It was what I said, Joel. Don't you remember? It was what I guessed.
Yes. No, I'm just being a dick.
So, like I was saying, though, we're
Oh, me too.
in honor of it being March. Everybody knows that in March, March Madness happens. It's the the annual college basketball tournament where basically it's kind of an anything goes. It's one of those with basketball or with football playoffs. Usually like a lot of sports, the best teams typically win, but in college basketball,
Get to the point.
a lot of Cinderellas.
It's like knowledge. It's good.
we're doing our version.
Knowledge,
So, yeah, we're
knowledge,
doing, yeah.
knowledge,
Yeah.
badness, knowledge, cadness.
Yeah, thank you, Mullish Cat.
And so
Basketball.
we are doing our own version of a bracket for March, and we are doing this with Brewery. So what what Ruben did was we used as a base skeleton for our listings. So we have the top 64 breweries, and we
I was
used
waiting for that.
we used
That's
rate-
so
yeah.
satisfying.
we used Rate Beer's top 100 as kind of a base, and then Ruben first went in and kind of made some adjustments because some of these, like, we tried to find the list that was the most appropriate, and there's a lot of bullshit lists out there of like
Yeah.
top breweries, because like
Definitely.
some breweries that just are like
Yeah.
shouldn't be there are
Well,
there. And
yeah.
we wanted to show homage to not the brewery, but we want to show homage to some of the breweries of the past that have been there, but like also reflect what the current beer state is. And being self-described beer nerds, I think we took a couple liberties of putting in some breweries that you may not typically see in your top 64 or 100, whatever you make.
Yeah.
But so we'll hop in here. We'll post the bracket for people to see, and they can see the seeds. But I think what we'll do here is we'll kind of go through a couple of the ones that seem like the most interesting.
But also, long story
talk through
short,
this.
if
Yeah.
your brewery, your favorite hometown brewery is not represented, it's not a personal slight,
Yes.
except for Three Sons. That was a personal slight on behalf
Yeah, we will
of
say
Chris
there's
and Ruben against you, Magic. I had nothing
Yeah,
to do with
sorry,
it. They teamed up against you. That's why you're not on there. So, but other than that, it's nothing personal. Only other than Three Sons.
All right.
So-
There's only so many slots.
Let me take
So-
a look here.
So also, Chris, the plan is that we'll be doing some polling. We'll be polling the general
Yes.
public on what you guys think of these matchups.
Yeah, we'll be dropping some polls for people to vote on, and then in about 2 weeks we'll have our next show, and we'll accumulate those results. We'll finish because we're just going to kind of really talk through kind of the first round or two right now, and then we'll get to we'll see how we'll fill out our full bracket. And we'll kind of see where we all land compared to where you all voted for us,
And these-
voted for the brewery.
These are all breweries, right? So like, there's no
no meaderies or
well, there's no meaderies, right? There's no cideries or no cider producers, but there's also no breakdown or delineation of the style of brewery. So like, you can wind up with Dre Fontaine, going head to head. It could
the first so
it could wind up going head to head
So
with like other half.
That's a good place to start. So Dre
You know.
Fontaine is actually going against a number 1 seed in 3F is going against the Rare Barrel, which is a 16 seed. in
That's
this
what I
case.
thought was unfair. I was like, that's a berry right there. He
It's
just buried the good
who's
man
going-
that is. God, sorry, I'm
Jake
being
Wood.
liberal. Jake
God
Wood.
bless the Rare Barrel, but
God bless
uh,
him, but dude, I think that's accurately reflective of where dude, Rare Barrel is on the shelf over at fucking.
I mean, we
No,
all know
they're
the
not.
answer to this
over
one.
at Texas, unless
Yeah.
they're doing some shady shit again. But
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know. Rare Barrel, I like them.
come on, we're all gonna say
they're
pretty
underappreciated,
Listen-
but Dry Fontaine
Yeah.
is like you know.
So this, but you would have been more pissed where we saw like so. I'll show a little bit behind the scenes. Originally, and this is sorry, Ruben, but Ruben had North Park Brewing Company going against 3F.
Yeah.
I thought that was a travesty. So I did. That was one of the edits I made but I don't know. Like everybody, different strokes for different folks. You know what I mean?
Well, it's tough
It's
because
hard, yeah.
you have
Ruben
a lambic-
notoriously, I think we talked about this actually on the last episode. He does not think highly or as highly of North Park as we do.
Well, but you have a lambic producer going up against like an American craft beer brewery.
But this is actually a good
those aren't
comparison 'cause
very
this is-
different things, but
And
it's all beer.
For the record, as smart as Ruben is, he's also dumb enough to say that he didn't like that the party cup. So that's like,
Dude, Party Cup was
That's
fucking
right.
awesome.
Ruben,
And then
did you
what
hear
about-
that?
As far as-
You're not
As far
here.
as hoppy lagers, as far as hoppy lagers go, that's the fucking go.
You're
You
not
guys
here to
never-
defend yourself, and none of us are going to defend you for saying that Party Cup was terrible. We're
about
all going to
fucking
black
idiot,
out
Dude,
you
what a
right
fucking
now.
idiot, am I right, guys?
what about the modern,
What a one pathetic loser. Am I right? Like,
what about the Modern Times collab Wizard Cup? That was
great-
also
great beer.
fantastic.
Great beer, yeah.
I shared that with you at your house.
yeah, Wizard Cup was great.
So good.
This is what you get when you're not here, Ruben.
Delicious.
You get,
Sorry,
you
but-
get trash talk.
Ruben, fuck you, eh?
Yeah. All right.
You have no
So,
power.
I know I have a couple in my mind. Is there any particular matchups that struck you guys that you're looking forward to seeing? What people
Well, I
choose?
mean, who decided to put Cantillon against Goose Island / AB InBev?
That was another edit of mine.
Sick
You didn't-
joke was that?
well, hey, put it this way. All right,
It was like
it was kind of all right. So I did this way. I was like,
Well, how did
free
Goose
square?
Island even wind up on this list? Just get rid of them. Take them off
it's
the
free
list.
square. Free
this is
square.
so Goose Island is one of those carryovers from the rate
You're
beer.
telling me Goose Island got in here, but Three Sons didn't?
Well, how about this? Should we put Three Sons in
Three
instead
Sons
of
Who's making this
like-
podcast?
yeah, a bunch of jamokes? That's
What the
who-
hell?
I think no.
Bunch of jabronis.
I think keep Goose Island in because Bourbon
Bourbon
County
County
is
is
good.
still- it's
I would
still-
say get rid of
Dude, you guys
450.
said-
Get rid of 450 and put in
No,
Three Sons.
450 is
Yeah,
in there
like,
just to
dude,
troll everybody because 450 is
I
going to win.
figured
No,
that.
450 is going to win.
All right, so that's a good one. So, all right,
when, we
let's
do
look
the,
at
when we do the polls,
Is Imprint on here? I
450
thought Imprint's gonna win. Are they on here?
450 is going all the way, bro. To
450
the
is
moon.
going against the guard.
450 is going.
Ah, that's a good one.
So,
Imprint's
but
going-
you know, fucking Juice
Imprint's
Bros
going
would
against Degard. Is that what you meant?
imprint into guard, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But the 450 is actually going against Mortalis, which are
That's
two
what it
juice.
is.
That's the Juice Boy matchup.
Yeah.
I personally,
Immortalis is like
I
the
see-
coffee beers, though.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say Joel.
They do stouts. Yeah, they do stouts, but
Yeah,
they
I
do a lot of-
creeped on Joel's Untapped before this. I
What
did my
is-
homework.
I could have done
That Mortalis
450.
coffee stout though.
I could have done 450 versus
Super
imprint
good.
or something.
Okay.
But,
Wait,
but
That would have been like a head to head like pick one, fatality the other.
The one I had the
right?
hardest time with was and I didn't even look at the numbers now that I'm looking at it in hindsight. Holy crow. Alesmith for Stone actually had a hard time with.
I did too.
dude, L Smith.
I did too.
I thought that originally.
I went
Chris.
L Smith.
I thought that originally.
but then you like had a
I
stroke and
prefer
fucking actually picked Stone.
I was like 2 is
Yeah,
15, right? Oh
Where was
god.
the hard part?
So I don't
Yeah,
know.
what do
Like,
you-
Joel, help me out with this. Have you had Saison de Buff aged in red wine barrels?
Yeah, I have.
So that one
I'm
beer,
just saying. No, but they produce
That's
beers
what I'm
like
saying.
that. Where
Stone?
it'll be like
Where
that's-
do they have that?
So Stone, the only thing about Stone that I'll say in recent years is they have pulled back from the experimental edge of things and have
which is their loss.
They have
That's what they
retreated
lose.
into the safety of IPA
they're in
everything.
the evergreen.
So-
like their customers just want what
Ale
you
Smith-
make.
AleSmith has continued to like at
It's their
least
hacks.
dip their toe in innovating things.
their
Like
hacks.
So the Stone innovation is what I love, and the AleSmith innovation is what I don't love. AleSmith core I love, and Stone core I don't love.
okay, that's a fair point.
That's the thing. It's like AleSmith old school
So
Vietnamese
what's the-
Speedway. Hell yeah.
So what's the
All
trade-off?
this new shit they're coming out
Playing
with? No.
playing it safe, but also killing it at what you're playing it safe with, or experimenting and kind of not doing very well at experimenting.
Yeah.
But they're still doing the things like L
Saison de
Smith
Buff
is,
Age Red Wine is one of my favorite beers ever made.
Experimenting
Micah is saying,
shouldn't mean making
would
a
agree.
shitty beer. It
Oh,
should
Micah.
be like experimenting and making things better and improving.
well, at least I say L Smith. Like I think L Smith IPA is better than Stone IPA.
Also, I will say this Angry Chair versus Vesvleteren. I mean, too bad. Sorry, Angry Chair, but you're going to lose every time in my book to Vesvleteren. Like,
Oh my god, explain.
who wants
I didn't know.
who wants like
West
just
D12,
just
right?
a fat like needle stabbed into their arm and just injected with straight diabetes.
Right.
Because that's what Angry Chair beer is, and
Right.
like.
They're a one trick pony.
That's it. They're a one-trick pony. West Letterin is like a venerable, like Trappist brewery that buried. They buried like their barrels in the dirt during the Great War and the World War II or whatever. Blah blah blah. Like, and then they dug them back up and like continued to brew in them. And at one point, one of their
So they're
beers
like 100 years old.
was like best beer in the world. Angry Chair has never had that, and Angry Chair just is a Florida brewery, so like I don't know, they I feel like they get docked
Okay,
an
well,
extra
this
Man,
goes
point.
Joel's
back
making
to
me feel like a
why
little bit
are
of an
they-
asshole.
Just
because
like
I
Three
went
Sons
Angry
gets
Chair.
docked for being in Florida because Florida.
I went Angry Chair over
Yeah, I
over
did
West
too,
Weatherly.
Chris,
Yeah, West
but
Weatherly.
it-
No, dude.
I didn't know. Don't
They're
get
monks.
mad at me.
They're monks. Think about like their lifestyle and like.
I mean, I
how they-
haven't
you know,
had a West. I don't think I've had a Westy 12 even, which
I'm
is their
glad
like.
you said that
like, so
because
I don't think I'm trying to think of. I may like somebody's probably brought. I might have had like an because they have Westy 8.
Okay.
Like 8 and.
Joel, can
So ignorance is the explanation.
Yeah,
for
ignorance
it.
is-
Ignorance is-
I
Joel,
kinda-
I saw this
just
matchup. I thought that was an
pretend we
easy
don't
way
know
to bury
anything.
Angry Chair. I
Yeah.
said, "Oh, we're
Oh, yeah.
burying
Yeah, Angry Chair.
Chair."
Goodbye. Kiss them
Yeah.
goodbye. They're
There's a
done.
couple
Yeah.
bear-
There
yeah.
are
Piece
450
cake.
North, but instead they do pastry sauce.
You know what was brutal? I
Oh,
thought.
this is a gimme.
Yeah, that's
Alright,
what I thought
I'll
too.
hop up a couple above that one. The Answer versus Hudson Valley for me was
Oh,
tough.
Hudson Valley, 100%.
I went Hudson.
The
Yeah.
answer versus
Thank
Hudson Valley
you.
was tough for me too.
I
I
went
can see
Now,
a lot of
Hudson
people-
Valley, no.
Hudson
Well,
Valley.
for me,
I
yeah.
know Ruben, and the thing is, I know Ruben's gonna say the answer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he for sure will.
Oh, he told me.
Oh, Ruben,
No,
100%.
He would be fighting if Ruben. If he was, he'd be fucking yelling right now.
Hudson Valley makes their own beer. The Answer doesn't. I mean, they do, but
Oh,
they
but
don't.
not their- not
their most
They
famous
don't.
beer.
In this particular respect, they
That's-
don't.
Hudson
I mean,
Valley,
who else is that? Who else is that? Horace and Rare Barrel?
Hudson Valley is so crazy.
There's a few. The
Yeah.
Rare
Cellar
Barrel, actually, I
Barrel-
think Rare Barrel. I think Rare
Cellar
Barrel has
Maker
their
makes
own
Rare Barrel
brewhouse
wort.
now.
Oh, okay.
I think they do.
Nowadays.
They do now, but as only recently.
No.
These are
Cellar
some
Maker
good. These are some
forever.
good.
Cellar Maker
So this is our chance to put the thumb on the scale
Oh, did
too
they-
for
here's-
everyone. You know.
Here's all right.
Yeah.
I think this is by far the
Thank
best
you, Alex,
matchup
but-
and the hardest one, and they're appropriately rated like 8 and 9 in terms of like pretty much head to head. McKellar versus Evil Twin, the twin.
McKellar.
Yeah.
McKellar.
McKellar.
I said McKellar.
Dude, Evil Twin.
McKellar.
Sorry,
No,
guys.
because he said
McKellar.
McKellar SD. Dan Katie
McKellar.
every day of the week.
Oh yeah, McKellar SD.
Yeah.
McKellar SD. Yes.
100%.
If it was Evil Twin versus just McKellar's global brand
Actually,
from
yeah.
Brewed wherever the hell,
This
I would
whole
take Evil
page,
Twin.
I felt
Yeah.
really confident. Side Project versus McKellar, Cellar Maker versus Santa Darius, Tired Hands versus Modern Times, and Horace versus Tugard.
That's the second rounds. Those are the second round, right?
Oh yeah, so
So
yeah,
you're
yeah.
Saying, so you're saying those guys win the
Yeah. they
in
win the
Horace
second
versus Cloudwater. Horace. I think that's
All right, so let's get
Yeah,
back
Horace.
to the base. Let's go back to the first one. So on the left side, starting on the west coast, going from the top left, what did everyone have for Hill Farmstead Forager?
I had Hill Farmstead.
Hill Farmstead.
Done.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
so-
Forager.
Yeah,
Forager. I like
sorry.
Forager a lot. That was some of these are fucked up. You know what I mean? But it's like,
Forager's
it's
good
also
brewery,
hard.
but-
Also, if you look at the bracket, it's like how do you place some of these? Because there's a lot of killers in here.
So Floodlands obviously beat Founders. Duh.
yeah.
Those
So
wild
Hill
ales are
Farmstead Floodland's going to
amazing.
be. I mean, it's seemingly tough,
Joel,
but I
what's
mean,
that
Hill
side?
Farmstead. I think as far as a future thing, like I'm not going to call it now, but
I had Founders beating Floodlands because
What?
well, yeah,
You've never had Floodlands
But I-
before.
no, I have.
Oh no, that's cute. You've never had Floodlands.
I have.
Sorry
no,
for
I
you.
have. But
that's a
like,
racist
what does
brewery.
Floodlands
No.
do? Explain to me all the
Have you
beers
not
that
had
they
their
do.
wild ales?
Yes.
They're
Well,
way better
I think
than
they're
anything.
honestly.
But what else do they do?
To be completely
That's all they
honest,
do.
I'll say.
Okay.
I think
good.
I think Floodland's a little bit overrated.
okay,
though.
yeah, but
Oh,
so like
I think they're good. I think they're really good. but-
Founders for all the drama like that they have.
Little
They've
bit.
been around. They birthed CBS and KBS, and they birthed Old Dirty Bastard
Yeah,
and
but
like
are you going to
Backwards
compare
Bastard.
anything they're
and,
brewing in the
like,
last 3 years of those beers to Floodlands now?
as far as like new beers and stuff,
Or just the
it's
recreations of the same recipes.
not necessarily, but like as far as like what I think is a brewery that's had like an impact on American brewing scene, like in the history of craft beer in
Yeah, like,
America.
yeah, they might
I'm gonna give them the
But
leg
they
up
might
on.
get into the hall. Yeah, there's a time.
on
That's why it's.
Floodland.
That's why it's. This is great. You know, it's everything
KBS
suggested.
would be a
But
Hall of Fame. I see what you're saying. Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
I'm just thinking about it in the sense that like I know Floodland from doing one thing, which is like wild ales.
Right, which are so
but they do that one
damn
thing
good.
arguably better.
They do it very
than-
well.
Better
you know,
than anything
Founders
Founders.
doesn't- yeah.
But they've only been around for a couple of years, and Founders has like persisted and existed for a long, long time. And I don't
Speaking
know
of the good beer life, we did a broken truck against Floodlands, and Floodlands won.
which broken. Oh, really?
Which-
Yeah.
Which
which
broken
Floodland?
truck
It
did
was
they
like
do?
4 or 5 years old broken truck.
versus what Floodland? Did they do like
So
a
like a batch one?
broken truck's like a goose basically?
Yeah.
Does Floodland have blends that old? Yeah, I mean,
No,
they don't.
No.
They don't.
It wasn't a direct style comparison. It was more of just like broken truck is
Yeah.
damn good. Put that up against
gotcha.
Floodlands, and Floodlands was better.
Okay.
Oh, here's another one. I mean, I don't think we need to go through every single one of them, but I'm gonna kind of unless you guys stop me if you have another one you think it's. But I thought kind of a tough one at first was Parish versus Great Notion.
I thought that too.
I thought that was really
Great
tough.
Notion.
Great Notion. I thought it was an easy
I
slam
went
dunk for
Parish.
Great Notion.
That
I went
was
Parish. I think they're a little bit more
Whoa.
refined.
Really?
I think Parish
Stouts
is
and the IPAs.
yeah. I mean, because Ghost in the Machine is arguably the best hazy / just best IPA in the game. And
pretty
then
damn good.
I think that I recently had Decade One, and I've had some of their shade stuff, and so like their proper barrel aged stouts are
Well,
I
maybe
think
that's
are, so it's like but so it's kind of a little like Parish has like 2 maybe 3 like really top stuff, but Great Notion I'll give them that they have seemingly a lot more bangers, but Great Notion hype though I feel like is way down compared like they were like the prodigal son for a little
Oh
while.
my
and I
god!
feel
But
like,
if you
Who
didn't
cares
have
about the
that
hype?
beer-
Like,
yeah, exactly.
I
If you didn't
care
have
about
that
the
beer
hype, bro.
recently-
I think
Joel,
I
we're
personally
like-
I personally like I said I think I like Parish a little bit more. I like them a little bit more.
So
That's
what?
honestly like I'd like the Ghost in the
Well,
Machine.
I mean, again,
Decade
that's your
One.
opinion.
Yeah.
We're all entitled to our opinions.
But it sounds like everybody. Are you guys all Great Notion?
I'm Great Notion
Yeah.
because
Great Notion.
Great Notion.
French toast. The
Stack or whatever, stacked or whatever, double
gosh.
stack,
I mean,
double stack,
No,
triple stack,
no, that's a different beer.
quadruple stack,
Quintuple.
Quintuple stacked is what I was going after.
Sextuple
No.
stack.
So there's
Oh.
barrel aged double stack, but then there's also French toast, which is the beer made by Horace.
Okay, the collab, yeah.
Yeah, and that
Oh.
was
I
phenomenal.
don't think I had that one.
That was better than
Phenomenal.
way better than barrel aged double
Ruben,
stack.
Ruben always says he's in his mind. He thinks he
Phenomenal.
says phenomenal.
I don't think
a
he
lot.
said it that much.
Phenomenal.
He does say phenomenal. He does phenomenal. He
Phenomenal.
emphasizes
Yeah.
the first. He emphasizes the phenomenal.
So I'm glad that you, Mike, as our new guest, said phenomenal. That's awesome.
I think I said new guest. And Ruben's only ever been the guest. I'm the new
You
guest.
can just
new
say,
host.
no, yeah. Co-host.
I said new guest.
I know.
Yeah, Great Notion. And the one. It's funny too because like this is a stupid novelty pleasure like Jan the Radar, but like I'm gonna prefer of both those beers, like Brewers beers. I'm gonna prefer Blueberry Muffin every day of the week.
Dude, blueberry
hello?
muffin
That beer is
fucking
insanely
Blueberry
delicious.
muffin, all of the muffin stuff.
Yes,
I mean,
it's so. I remember the first time I had it was abnormal when Derek used to work there, and that beer is.
the first time I had it, this was like, this is beer. This is
Yeah.
how did they make this taste like
I want to say that a
processed
tough.
package bakery?
Yeah, what do you got? What was a tough one?
Well, a tough matchup for me was to go Monkish versus the Alchemist,
Yeah.
but then also right below it
I
was
would
Jester
like
King
that.
versus Maine.
Wait,
So-
you had a hard time with Monkish versus
Dude,
Alchemist?
Monkish
Are you
like
high?
in a
Monkish?
fucking
No,
landslide.
those 4 like so those 2 head to heads but together
Yeah. Well,
like that was a little tricky. So like I didn't have trouble picking. I picked Monkish over the Alchemist honestly, and then I picked Jester King over Maine.
me too. But,
But-
Monkish versus Jester King is going to be a
that,
bitch.
those,
But then
That's gonna-
like those are tough. Like
yeah.
Treehouse for Cricket's Dave actually had a hard time with.
I was going to be. That was a tough
I
one.
had a pretty hard time
I
with that
went
one.
Treehouse.
Oh, wow.
Treehouse versus Cricket Stave. Yeah, okay.
I haven't
all right.
had the Treehouse like barrel aged stouts or those those really limited bottles they're doing from Treehouse. I haven't had
Yeah.
those.
I mean,
I went hype over.
Are you
I went
only-
hype over what I've.
I feel like you guys are
I went
only
Treehouse.
thinking of
I went
stouts.
Treehouse over Crooked Stave.
No.
No yawning.
Father
Joel.
time
yeah.
over here.
Gross.
I'm thinking of.
Papa, what
Oh
do you
yeah,
think?
I'm thinking
What do
of
you think,
everything.
Papa?
I think of Treehouse like fruity IPAs, like those mouthfeel, almost like Hudson
Yeah.
Valley kind of shit. Like
They don't have
Right,
anything like
kinda
a sour. They don't have like any sour IPAs as far as I know. They just have like
well, wait,
Treehouse?
Treehouse. Not as far as I know.
No,
unless-
Treehouse is just
What?
hazy IPAs and hazy IPAs. Oh, and milk stouts. They
Yeah.
make milk stouts.
Yeah,
Also, right
That's
above.
a
So
deli or like the all
right
the
above that
adjunct
one,
weird.
Perennial versus the
ones.
Veil was kind of tough too, though.
That was hard. I do agree.
That was a
I
pretty
was.
tough one.
I'm hard. I'm very biased. I'm hardcore Veil. on that
I
one.
agree with that. Oh,
I went the Veil as well.
Yeah,
I went the
I'm
Veil.
Veil.
Yeah.
I was
Sorry.
basically-
Perennial's been kind of on the downcline for me in a
Yeah.
way.
I was kind of peer
Downcline.
pressure.
Well,
Yeah.
in terms of like what my what
I
my
know
personal
Ruben
preference.
likes the Veil. I was thinking of Ruben.
well, I was struggling to think. Basically, at that point,
We
with
love
the
you,
with the
Ruben.
the Veil and Perennial, I was like, okay, which one of them has fucked up some beers? And I'm trying to think. I'm like, I can't think of any of them that have like really messed up a beer, except for like the Veil has had some beers that maybe were not. They didn't taste quite like what people thought they were going to taste like. But Perennial, as far as I know, has never released a beer that was jacked
it's
up.
funny how you're almost
Mhm.
judging
And-
them on what did they fuck up on.
because they're both so.
Well,
good,
that's
though.
because that's the whole reason. Like I was like,
Yeah,
I
That's
was,
a flaw.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm struggling to think of a reason.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, let me think of a high profile
Right.
example of a beer that they jacked
Where's the
up.
chink
And
in
I'm
the
trying
armor?
to think of that too, and I'm like, can't do it. So I think I ended up going with who did I don't even remember who I picked on those. Oh shoot, I probably picked So
Did you write it down?
I did write it down. I just had to find it.
And you're saying
Pen-
what was the
pencil
major one that Perennial fucked up on? You said they've had some beers that were like.
That's the thing. They haven't. That was
okay.
my thing. Like,
But you said that
I
for
can
the
think of a
Founder,
couple
though.
beers that I had from them that were like maybe slight letdowns.
I
or
still
like,
think non-barrel
but-
aged Abraxas is a freaking phenomenal beer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what about
Oh,
Homage
yeah.
and
Modernly
Firestone?
made.
Was that one easy
Which
for
one?
you guys? Homage and Firestone.
Oh yeah,
Walker?
Homage in a landslide. Firestone can eat a dick.
Oh, Homage for sure.
Oh.
That's what I said too. I was just
Yeah.
curious.
But
I
with
was
the
just-
Veil, I went to the Veil on my 24 on the trip, and I picked up most of the Veil anniversary stuff, and it's all freaking phenomenal, man.
They've had
The
everything.
Veil's
Everything I've had so good. Yeah,
good.
they do all the Wang Doodle stuff, right?
The Wang Doodles
Yeah.
are like, yeah, good
Wang Doodles.
stuff.
I got a
yeah.
set of those one time of like the maple and
Yes.
So I did pick the Veil to win against Perennial.
Yeah.
That's what I
Mhm.
picked. Yeah.
dude, another fucked up matchup: Anchorage versus Tired Hands. That
Oh,
one
I
was
went
fucking
Tired
brutal.
Hands.
That one was
Anchorage.
brutal.
I went
went Anchorage.
Anchorage.
Too.
Oh,
I could see
I
how
didn't-
most. What are you gonna say?
No,
Chris?
go ahead. Go ahead.
I could see how people would pick Anchorage, but I had to pick Tired Hands just because of the variety.
Give me the
But
love,
dude,
Mike. I
Anchorage
went
has
Tired
got
Hands
fucking
too.
variety too, dude. They do stouts, barley wine, sours, IPA.
I haven't had.
But-
Sorry, so I'm. That's. What did you say? Ignorance, Joel? Is that ignorance?
Yeah.
I haven't had Anchorage sour that I was like,
Mhm.
oh shit. We're like Tired Hands. I've had an insane number of. One of my first big traders that connected me to like Side Project Casey, all this stuff. He was a Casey guy, or I mean
think
a.
access has a lot to do with this.
Yeah, so he was my Tired Hands guy. That was one of my friend Grant Helper. Shout out, I love that guy.
Our new friend gave us
Yeah.
a Tired Hands.
Yeah.
And he was like my first. He got me like Grant connected me with the guy who built the greenhouse for Troy Casey, for Casey Brewing.
Damn.
Like this guy was like my ultimate.
So he knows some shit.
Yeah,
That's
he sent me
pretty
Trillium and
cool.
Treehouse back in the day when no one could get it. He was my dude,
Holy shit.
And one thing about
and
this,
and he sent
Are
me
you
Tired
guys
Hands.
still
That
friends?
we are, but he has 2 kids now, and him and his wife are during the pandemic are both nurses. So
Oh,
he's
so
like
they're-
out of the
and
equation.
then one thing I don't
Yeah,
think Tired
they're
Hands. At least
heroes
I'm
of the
not
world.
familiar, and I
Yeah.
don't think I've had much. If they have done it, I hold stouts in a little higher regard than some other styles, and I think Anchorage has them on that. So that was kind of
Anchorage
my-
I know
That's-
that's why this is
yeah.
almost like hard.
But that's why it's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is subjective. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
of
that's
course,
so
obviously,
it's
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole thing. But for me, Anchorage, and then right below that, so another tough grouping. So Anchorage and Tired Hands, also Modern Times and Phase 3. I haven't had any Phase 3, but apparently their barrel age stuff is tits.
Oh
I
my
don't know,
God.
like-
Wow. No, I,
Right?
I,
Have you
I,
heard
I,
much of them?
There's
I just went
I mean, Modern
Times
Times.
because-
No, I mean,
Yeah,
it was
Modern-
easy. It was still easy for me. Modern Times, I think, will beat a lot of
I
stuff.
feel like Modern Times versus Modern Times. I would pick Modern Times. Like, they're just.
Wait, what?
Wait a minute. Modern Times versus
Modern Times
you'd
Point
pick Modern
Loma versus
Times.
Modern Times
That's how good they are. They
PDX.
just- yeah.
Where Modern Times
Modern
was in
Times
the
is
back
so
end,
good.
I'm really curious.
Those
to see
are-
where
Congratulations,
it
you played yourself.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
beat
know, dude,
yourself.
because in mine, I'm going to have Anchorage versus Modern Times, and that's going to be tough.
I'm gonna have Modern Times versus Tired
That's gonna be
Hands.
tough.
I think I'm going to go Modern Times.
Yeah, I was gonna
but
say.
Anchorage is
My money,
fucking
I
sick,
would
though.
bet on what I think you're gonna.
I wish Ruben was here so he could go further into it.
Oh, what do you
Oh yeah.
what do you guys have on Sarah versus Trillium?
I had Sarah.
Me too.
I love
Um,
Trillium,
Yeah.
but
Oh yeah,
I'd
I had
rather
Sarah.
drink if Sarah stays on. That's what it comes down to.
100% Sarah.
Yeah, I would just prefer that every day of the week.
Rustic ales, bro.
Rustic motherfucking
Oh, yeah.
So we're not going to go all the way to the end with this.
Yeah.
We don't want to because we don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
We want your input. Also, we want to know. I mean, I don't know how we're going to play this. Like, who gets closest to what the public chooses?
I think what we can do
And
is
by your, Joel means like the moms out there. Like
we can
they
set up
get their
a.
input.
Yep.
I'll set up
If
a
you got
point.
the jeggings,
What I can do is
you
I'll give
know,
a certain
if you're
point
out-
system to this where it's like, if you pick the right answer in the first round, you get a point. If you pick the right one in the second round, it's 3 points, and then it kind of exponentially goes up
Yeah.
a little bit.
And then what
And if
we
you-
win
and then
is,
we'll,
each other's
what do
company.
we win?
Wait,
You get over the
Each
other's
pants.
company.
You get over the pants HJs
Wait,
from the rest
Chris,
of the group.
wait. So what?
I heard that. I don't know if anyone else heard that, but I heard that.
I'm marinated in it. I don't know about you. But
Ew, I'm just brushing over that grossness. But
brushing over with a fine tooth comb.
Yeah.
Hey.
so
Hey.
what the audience says, or who's
We're gonna be-
who's
our-
dictating who wins?
Yeah, the audience is going to basically dictate who wins
so
based
their
on voting.
bracket, and then whoever out of
And we'll
us
put this-
is
so this will
closest
be
to
on-
theirs.
Correct. Yeah. Based
So,
on
audience, secretly,
And so
just
what
off
we'll
the
do
side
is,
here, I'm just going to
I
say
I mean,
something
if you're
without
listening
Chris
to
knowing.
this
This is who should
podcast,
I'm
win.
gonna put my
I
I'm gonna
haven't
put
been
my bracket up at
I've gotten them all
www.joelsbracket.beer.
right.
If you can read
Go,
Josephine's
go
fine
to
print.
go to mine. Oh, he can't hear me. He doesn't know when
yeah.
I'm saying this. Go to mine and just copy what I've got so that I win.
And then just
All
listen
right.
to this podcast and
And
remember
then
that I blindly corrected.
Chris doesn't know that I'm saying this
Yes,
to you.
all
This
of
is
them.
You guys
secret.
hear Joel? Where's
No.
not in my
Who are you talking
Is
about?
this thing on?
No
Is
one
no one
hears
who's
it.
here?
check.
Yeah.
No.
www.
But we'll have this.
Joel's
We'll have this
anything
be
wrong.
able to vote on the first sip Instagram, and also we'll do it on. We'll put it on the Beer Nation too, just to get as big of a pool as we can get. So
As
You know what I'm
big,
saying?
as
Yeah.
big a pool.
So vote
If
for
not a pool, we can get a hot tub.
I
If
mean,
not a hot tub, we could get
Oh.
one last. Sorry, one.
And
I had
we
another
can't
one
make it a
that I
hot
thought was a
tub.
little bit tough for me to think about, but I had a tough one between Hidden Springs and Highland Park.
That
That
was
was
kind
a
of
good
hard.
one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's a good
Because
one.
I have low experience on
Re-
both of them, but I've had good beers from both places.
locality
Yeah,
bias.
so
I had
walk-
to pick Highland Park.
I went Highland.
Yeah, I
I
had
was
to.
close to that.
West
yeah.
Coast bias.
Yeah, West Coast bias. Yeah,
Why? Oh,
I love those guys.
Why? So,
yeah.
do you remember? So, well, Highland Park, they just do a lot of styles. They don't
Right.
just do hype shit. They
Yeah.
they do bloggers. They do West Coast IPAs. But
Bloggers.
they also do
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say, did you say bloggers?
bloggers.
They do
bloggers.
They
Joel,
have bloggers.
Thank you.
It's a
I'm starting
They
to
write-
lose. Yeah,
But
get a
their
little loose
Horace
with them.
It's a
Barrel
weblog.
Stout could be as good as a Hidden Springs Stout, and all I know
Yeah.
from Hidden Springs is their stouts.
They had
Yeah.
Hidden Springs had the best peanut butter jelly
Oh.
I
replica
bet.
beer they
I
ever.
bet they-
Man,
I
dude,
bet.
man,
Talk
child-
dirty
it
to
wasn't
me.
a stout. It wasn't a stout. It was
barley wine.
it was a
right?
kettle. No, it was a kettle
Oh,
sour.
Sour.
Oh.
Yes.
And it was the more of the lead in a way was kind of the fruity like jam part. So it was I forget what it was. It might have been raspberry or strawberry, and then the peanut butter just came. It was unreal. I was like, because I've had tons of different
Unreal.
probably previous to that. I'm from Katawa.
Unreal Engine
They have like a
4.
PB&J brown ale,
Hmm.
and that was really good. But this was the like that. It was kind of like blueberry muffin. At least what it surprised you in that kind of way, where it's like
Yeah.
it's got this tartness and then balanced real hard by the peanut butter, and it really made it that PB&J kind of feel.
For those not,
us
for
the,
those
like-
on audio only, I'm having a face of perplexed interest.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
the name of the beer and the can.
sour. I said,
Yeah, and so the can is cool too. It's the name of that beer is called Manchild.
Oh,
Aren't we
I
all-
remember that
Yeah.
one. It
All the beer
literally
nerds.
tastes like peanut butter and jelly.
All right. Well, so
Jones.
between this episode and the next episode, we'll be conducting internet Instagram polls and then maneuvering our way towards the Elite Eight and the Final Four and then the who would win?
and-
Who would win?
How
One more, hold on. I want to hear.
exciting
I want to hear
that
Joel. I
is.
think I know who you picked, but Bottle Logic and Ace State.
Oh, you want to know who I picked between Biologic and
I
Eighth
think
State,
we don't
huh?
know.
Huh? Well, what if our
Well, he has
friend?
friends. Yeah, Mike.
What if our friend?
Judge Mike or
No,
whatever?
Matt. What if he's listening? What will he think of me
Be
if I
true
say
to your
that Bottle Logic
heart,
beat
Joel.
Eighth
or Matt?
State?
Is Matt?
Bottle Logic.
Joel, if
Or is he
he's,
Judge Dregs?
he must
Yeah,
not
I thought his
know
name was
you,
Mike, sorry.
Joel, he must not know you that well because we all know you're gonna pick Bottle Logic.
I picked
a
Bottle
day?
Logic.
Yay!
I picked Bottle Logic. I'm sorry,
Nothing
Matt.
against
I picked
anybody.
Bottle
I want
Logic.
Ace State, bitches.
We like Ace
I
State.
wouldn't say I sold out.
Oh,
No, it was tough. That was a tough one, but like
It was
I went with.
tough. What?
No, FO.
It's the up and comers versus the established.
Well-
but not not established in the way like how Stone is and stuff.
I'm much
obviously,
more
but-
familiar with Bottle Logic's offerings than I am with Eighth States.
I don't-
I've had
yeah,
a number
I
of
don't-
Eighth States, but they're all good. But like anyway,
And then real quick before we, unless you guys have any other,
Real
is there any other for next round matchups that you really look like? You think what are some of your most intriguing next round matchups that you're going to be looking at? We can take a look real quick.
yeah. Let's look at
Sante.
this.
Well-
Who are they against? Like,
Let's see.
how is that gonna end up? Sante. and-
Revolution versus Casey. Oh, sorry, my bad.
I don't think-
I'm going too far ahead.
any
Russian
of the
River
ones.
and Casey is what I have going.
Right. Okay. So I
That's
had
brutal. That's a brutal one. I mean,
I had Revolution in Casey, but those Revolution cans.
So,
let me just tell you.
Yeah,
holy
if we're
cow.
talking Sweet 16, the only one that I'm looking at that is like really a tough nail biter is Dre-Fontenin versus Russian River. That's what I have for one of the Sweet 16s.
that's
Wait, that doesn't
yeah,
make
it
sense.
I know my
wait.
answer.
No,
That's-
pause.
yeah,
that
yeah,
doesn't make
that's-
sense.
Well, but what about the second?
That's
so that's
tough.
It does
Yeah,
if
that's
you
I guess
it does
that's
if you
the
pick
third round,
if you picked Russian River to beat Casey like I did and picked
Oh
Jay
no!
Fountain and
Yeah.
I
You
thought
know
we were
what?
saying. I thought we were saying for the second round. You're going
second
into the
round.
Sweet
No,
16.
I'm Sweet 16. That's
Oh, okay,
yeah.
my bad. Sorry, I'm
that will be.
behind.
I mean, I think
Oh.
that's probably the way.
You
that's
picked Russian
probably,
River over Casey.
Shh.
You've never had that much Casey, have you?
I have had that much Casey.
I don't know if you have.
But-
I have, but I picked Russian
I-
River.
But there's
Now, I
different
think we
things.
gotta
I mean,
keep
it's like I
the
said,
audience
different
guessing.
strokes for different folks.
I
you know?
have.
Yeah.
I picked Russian River.
Please
anyways.
listen and look at our.
I have the
what-
pastry
on
boy.
what
Dude, I have a
premises?
pastry boy matchup because you guys, I went a different way than you guys did on the Angry Chair West literally, but I have Cycle going against Angry Chair. Pastry boy matchup right
Bro,
there.
you kept Cycle in. I killed Cycle
Dude,
off
Bell's-
immediately.
I think-
first round.
I think
Dead.
Bell's is not
You
like,
picked Bells over Cycle.
Oh hell yeah! I picked Bells
Oh,
over
Jesus.
Cycle.
I
Oh
picked
my
Bells
god,
too.
dude! Bells is like 1,000 times better than Cycle. Trust me.
Joel, I agree.
Trust me.
Oh, I forgot. So this guy has a keg.
It's
For
like
those that don't know, he has a
old money
kegerator of Two Hearted Ale that's like
Yeah.
3 years old at his
Dude,
house.
Two Hearted.
He likes
Ale.
the barley.
Old money
IPAs.
Joel over here. Actually, we gotta have an old money episode. I've been saving a bottle, like an old school bottle of Parabola to. I haven't.
It's
I've been wanting to
hardly
open it.
old money, but we'll pretend.
Old money? You mean
It's
just like a
like
strictly
medium- it's like
brewery
money-
share?
it's like money-
Just old brewery
medium-
beers?
medium money.
All
Alright.
microwave money.
Medium money beer.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, my
On that
computer's
note, we should
Yeah.
my
have
computer's
Evan's.
dying. So
yeah.
we should
Yeah,
we should
I'll go ahead-
finish
yeah,
this
I'll go
episode.
ahead
We're
and-
gonna go ahead and thank our sponsors really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You listening?
Are you a bitch?
Yeah.
No, sorry, no. It's inside joke. Sorry. That's me inside joke for something else.
We will have some sponsors
But, yeah.
eventually. We're working our way up there. Just stay
But,
tuned.
yeah, we'll,
Told you
we'll
guys,
just thank
inside
the
jokes
barn
are
we'll
funny.
thank the barn time folks for again use of the studio here. It's great to have a little home base.
Thanks to our
Thanks,
guest.
Zach.
Thanks to our guest Mike. Thank you for coming by. This is really great
Round
having
of
you here.
applause.
Bringing
Oh, yeah, thanks,
fantastic,
Mike. Yeah,
bringing
Mike was great.
fantastic,
You
fantastic
brought
beers
great
over here.
beers.
Yeah, good job, Mike.
You brought
Holy
lots of
moly,
fun.
yeah.
And for the rest, I'm, Chris. You can find me at Growler Hour. Joel is at Beer with Pleasant Strangers.
That's right.
He's on Instagram, by the way. And Allie is at Allegory Vassalero.
And I got all of the blind tastings right.
And she got all the blind tastings right. She
And
wins
Mike,
Hashtag.
the Mike, the dummy that you probably hate because he likes Coors Light.
Yeah, Ruben.
Or, sorry, Banquet Beer. He's at
About the banquet beer.
he's at Close Your Tab.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was
Please?
suck your. Wait, oh no, it's close your tab.
Close
That's
your
right.
tab. How good is that handle?
It's a good one.
love
I
it.
feel like it's a good industry name right there.
It's a great
Good
If
industry
you were
name.
a bartender and worked at a brewery for
Yeah,
6 years,
yeah,
It is,
like
it
a
is.
There we
popular
go.
mid,
Close your tab.
regional brewery.
Which I
and it's-
never close my tab. So
Hashtag
what is it?
share your
Yeah,
beer.
20%
that's the whole point.
gratuity?
Hashtag share your beer. Are you on my Instagram right now?
I am.
Oh, that's
And
good.
Ruben obviously is at RL Vinay, and then you
yeah,
can find us,
yeah.
and then you can find us the
Ah,
podcast
we
as
love Ruben. Ruben, we love you.
Rubano.
First
is
sip
a
pod.
First Sip Pod, the number one ST Sip Pod.
Wait, before you close out, I have to
yeah.
say one last thing. The first time I brought Rachel to a beer share, we went to California Wild Ales.
Oh,
And
one of
Rachel
those.
fell in love with Ruben, and they talked the whole night.
We must have been there for that. I mean, I wonder if we were
Ruben-
there for. Is it
Ruben
when
has a
Cameron was still there?
way with everybody.
Was it a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruben has a way.
Ruben was wearing
Ruben's
his
got a way.
AFI shirt.
We came.
One
Well,
of
I mean-
Rachel's favorite bands in middle school growing up was AFI, and they just talked about music at the end.
Oh my god! If you're on Ruben's page with music, you'll be best friends with him quickly.
Yes.
I somehow managed to be friends with him, and we don't really agree on a lot of music. But I love you still,
Ruben
buddy.
just got a good heart, and he's
He knows
has a good
his heart.
heart.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the all right.
But hey, for
Over
everybody
now.
here,
Alright,
thank you
cheers,
guys.
Ruben.
Like this was really fun one. Thanks for being our first guest, Mike.
Cheers.
And
Cheers.
that's
Thanks
it.
for having
Yeah.
me, guys.
Cheers.
Yeah, love you guys. Cheers. Salud. Skull. Frost.
Skull Prost.
Yeah.